Hey guys, good morning YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell. We'll be on the air in just a minute.
So if you own your home,
Good morning everyone.
if you want to know how a reverse mortgage can change your life by giving you the financial freedom you need.
Yes. Welcome.
Anytime at 561-441-2730.
Welcome. Subscribe. Be on the air in just 2 minutes.
I look forward to hearing from you.
Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender.
No, don't want to.
166-254. Plus tax title includes $8.99 dealer fee.
As always, I need like 10 more seconds.
1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020
Here we go.
Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer.
Good morning.
Buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when you and use. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $18,775.
Welcome everyone.
A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer.
Here we go, people.
Sales of new Toyotas
Welcome.
in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
All right, here we go. Hey, Dan Duncan. Oh, I forgot the date. It's the 7th. It's the 7th.
When you complete trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group with 9 offices in South.
Hey, Australia. Good morning. Welcome, everyone.
Call 1-855.
Oh, man. All right, here we go.
Opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, management, or sponsors.
The Steve King Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll-free, 1
All right, where'd the weekend go, everyone? My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. That's right, on the radio since 1977. It is Monday, October 7th, 2019. So much to talk about, so much to discuss. The impeachment whistleblower scam is falling apart. And let me tell you about this. I want to get this right out of the box. I'm not going to drag this out. We'll talk about it. I want to hear your calls. But this whistleblower scam, I'm about to expose it to you here, what's going on. I know you know a lot of things, but now they got a second whistleblower, or there 3 whistleblowers. I'm not sure. There's a lot of whistleblowers now, right? A lot of whistleblowers. Got whistleblowers everywhere. And this one has first-hand knowledge of the phone conversation during the shakedown call between President Trump and the Ukrainian president. Let me explain to you how incredibly ridiculous this is. We've got a bunch of clowns running this whistleblower impeachment scam against our great president. The first whistleblower came out, has it been 2 weeks yet? It's been a couple of weeks. President Trump did something that the coup conspirators did not think he would do, because presidents don't do this, but he did it. He's different. So they have this first whistleblower come out. By the way, spies are now called whistleblowers. They have this first whistleblower come out and talk about this inappropriate phone call between the President of the United States and the president of the Ukraine, where he ran a shakedown operation against the Ukrainian president, right? And Donald Trump did what presidents never do, and he did it almost immediately. And what he did is released the transcript of the phone call as fast as he possibly could, because he had to get permission from the Ukrainian president first, because there's a confidence there. So he releases the transcript after the first whistleblower, and we clearly see no shakedown, Biden's a crook, You know, we know all this stuff. No shakedown, no intimidation, no threatening of anything. But they still continue with the story. And then, because they've got a big UN event going on, the President of the United States, that's Donald Trump, by the way, not Obama. Donald Trump's at the United Nations, and who does he happen to bump into? The President of the Ukraine. So the President of the Ukraine, he's there, he tells the press, nobody push me. It's over, boom, done, right? We've got the transcript. We've got the Ukrainian president clearing Trump. And their operation, their coup, this latest attempt at the coup, the Wile E. Coyotes, getting all of their political tactics from the Acme Corporation. When they came out with this first whistleblower, they never dreamed that he would release the transcript. And apparently, they were not aware that the Ukrainian president was going to be in New York with the president shortly after. They timed it poorly. Case closed, boom. Latest impeachment scam falls apart. So then over the weekend, we got a second whistleblower. This one has firsthand knowledge of the phone conversation. Well, the problem is we've seen the conversation in the transcript, and the other person on the line, the president of the Ukraine, spoke to the worldwide press at the UN over a week ago and cleared him. So, but they're still running this whistleblower operation. So, see, this is what's happened here. They knew about the second whistleblower before the first whistleblower became known to us, because this is an operation against the president. And because they're incompetent government workers, because that's what government workers are, incompetent, they have not changed their operation based on the changes in the way the president has behaved. They're still with this second whistleblower with firsthand knowledge of the phone call that we've seen and heard the person on the other end discuss. There's nothing to blow the whistle on. We've seen the transcript and we've heard from the Ukrainian president on multiple occasions. Now he's spoken about it. So how can you blow the whistle on something that's public? I'm going to blow the whistle. I'm on the radio now. We all know you're on the radio now. Yeah, but I'm blowing the whistle, and I got a lawyer, and we're whistleblowers now. You go, ooh. It's absurd. They're clowns. Oh, my goodness. They're clowns. After the Ukrainian president cleared him and the transcript was released, they should have changed up their coup operation. There's probably a third and fourth whistleblower because this was part of the plan all along. All right, show's over. We've summed up the news of the day. We'll be back tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. But that's it. And I'm watching everyone yesterday, whistleblower, second whistleblower. How can you blow the damn whistle on something that's public? I'm going to blow the whistle. Everybody knows it already, but we're blowing the whistle. What? How do you blow the whistle on something that's public? The second whistleblower would only work if he had not released the phone call and if the Ukrainian president had not cleared him at the UN last week. Was it last week or the week before? Oh my goodness. Are they so incompetent that they can't update their operation? Man. All right, now our phone lines are open. I want to hear from all of you on either side of this issue. I mean, this is just so absurd. Our number is toll free from anywhere, no matter where you were listening to this program, no matter where you were watching us on the live streams. Yes, the live streams. The live streams. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. My question is with the second whistleblower. Here's my question, because maybe I'm just slow. I went to Trump University. I didn't go to Harvard or Yale or Princeton or Oxford. Here's my question, okay? How do you blow the whistle on something that is public? How do you blow the whistle on something that is public? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, Richie. Oh, you're really awake this morning, Richie. You sound wide awake, man. You don't sound like it. Yeah.
Hey, you're my alarm clock.
Ah.
I'll tell you something. I got an email yesterday. You might not believe this, and I know about Glenn Beck. I mean, you might think that he's.
Oh, yeah, I know. Glenn Beck, actually, he's a player again. He's got some news. He broke something. Yeah.
You guys, people out there, your answer to all your questions this morning, they know that President Trump is not guilty. This is a smokescreen. The Democrats are doing this purposely to divert you from the facts of what's really happened. He has a total investigation. He has his chalkboard up. It's a 2-hour tape on YouTube. I beg.
Yeah, everyone, turn off your radios, go to Glenn Beck and watch his 2-hour tape, and then we'll be back when it's time for the Gold Report. Well, I appreciate that, Richie. Yeah, appreciate that, Richie. Yes.
Go to YouTube, go to that.
That's just what I want, Richie, at the start of the show. I want someone to call in and tell them, don't listen to the radio. All the answers are on this 2-hour Glenn Beck tape. I appreciate that. That's not nice guy.
In short,
Hey, get this guy. Appreciate that. I know. Yeah.
Administration, probably on purpose.
Yeah. Well, now maybe you can answer this, Richie. Maybe you could answer this. How can you blow the whistle on something that's public already, that everybody knows about, this phone call? They got a second whistleblower who's blowing the whistle on a phone call that has been public for 2 weeks. How do you blow the whistle on something we all know about?
Well, you blow the whistle hoping that you blow the whistle again with people that you're hoping are totally stupid to the going on.
Yeah.
But you and I and people that listen to your show know exactly that you can't do what they're trying to do. But they're banking on the average American and the cop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ignorant of what.
That's right. Well, Richie, I got to run, but thanks for the call. Thanks for the call. I don't know if I really appreciate it. Yeah, everybody, all the answers are not on the Steve Kane Show, but just watch this Glenn Beck 2-hour tape, and then you'll have everything. You don't need to listen to Brian. You don't need to listen to Steve Kane. Nice guy, Richie. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Richie. Oh, my goodness. That's just what you want. First call of the week. Live radio people. I don't care. Oh, my goodness. Richie, the bus driver. You got to love Richie. Listen, the way they were planning this operation is they never counted on him releasing the phone call. And because of their incompetence, they didn't realize that the Ukrainian prime minister was going to be there to clear Trump at the UN right after it broke. But the way that they were going to operate this in the news cycles is you've got Whistleblower 1. That would be out there for a while. And after that got a little stale, then Whistleblower number 2 would come out to back up what Whistleblower 1 said. But they never thought that we would know the contents of the phone call. And it really shows you the incompetence of the government. Now, it's 17 minutes after the hour. We'll take our first break of the week. When we get back, we'll jump into some more stuff here. Your calls are welcome at 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Are you tossing and turning in bed all night long? Do you wake up tired and groggy? Your days of not sleeping well at night are over with MyPillow. I sleep on a MyPillow. My wife sleeps on a MyPillow. Steve Kane sleeps on a MyPillow. And we're all getting the best night's sleep we've ever had. And you will too with your MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com and take advantage of the 2 MyPillows for the price of 1 special when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. 2 MyPillows for the price of 1. But you gotta use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com.
I know Richie thinks he's helping.
Hello, my name is Todd Shallett, Florida licensed and bonded public adjuster in the state of Florida. I work for Amerilos Incorporated. I'm the founder. I've been working since 1993 as your public adjuster. Amerilos Incorporated has helped thousands of homeowners get tens of millions of dollars more than what their insurance companies pay them. We offer a second opinion.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Make sure everyone subscribe.
Irma or Michael. It's not too late to get a second opinion and get the money that you deserve to get your house back.
Did the Yankees play last night? Steve was asking me. I said they played played. They're playing tonight. They
I've been
played
doing this since
Saturday.
1983, and our service is very
But did they
valuable.
play last
Because if
night?
we don't get you any additional service, there's no charge for what we do. Write this number down: 877-644-LOSS. That's 877-644-5677. If you had a loss, call Ameriloss. One of our adjusters is standing by to make that valuable appointment with you. You deserve to get a second opinion. We work for you, not the insurance company. Call right now. 877-644-LOSS.
This is Steve Kane with an incredible special from our friends at Brighton Dental. 8 Emax veneers at Brighton Dental, just $49.99. All the other dentists in town charge $10,000 for the exact same veneers. 10 Emax veneers, $59.99.
They won last night. What was the score last night?
These are the very same veneers.
Steve was asking me because he bets on these things, and I didn't see the game last night in the news.
Get the Hollywood smile you have always dreamed of. Call Brighton Dental at 954.
What was the score last night?
46-33.
Listen to the Steve Kane on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All righty, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Yes, yes, yes. These clowns in the whistleblower coup. It's all falling apart, people. Gateway pundit reporting Mitt Romney is weighing a primary challenge to Donald Trump. You know, what a pathetic person Mitt Romney is. He really is a pathetic person. But, you know, I think most people in politics are pathetic. They're like Hollywood celebrities who are dying for attention. And, you know, the thing with Mitt Romney that I say is that he's actually, you know, he tried to screw us in the last election, right? He put up that fake candidate, had him on the ballot in a bunch of states. Remember that? Had him on the ballot just trying to split the Republican vote in certain states. I mean, what a scumbucket guy Mitt Romney is. And when I say pathetic, the reason I say that Mitt Romney is pathetic, here you got a guy, he is wealthy beyond any of our imaginations, at least my imaginations, right? He's worth $250 million. He's got incredible wealth. He has how many grandchildren? 88 or something. He's like the top Mormon in America. And he's a sitting United States senator. And he's still so petty and pathetic, like John McCain pathetic and petty, that he's still trying to screw President Trump and screw us because we voted wrong. And you know Mitt Romney voted for Hillary Clinton. So how can this guy who we know voted for Hillary Clinton, how can we take him as a serious person? Mitch McConnell should find some way to take his Republican credentials away. Oh, man. All right, good morning. You're on the radio.
Morning, yes.
Hey, Steve, do you want to do what Richie did and tell people other things to watch and listen to while I'm broadcasting on the radio?
No, I'm fixated on you, Brian. 3 hours a day.
That's right.
You're my life.
Oh, thank you.
After you go up the air.
Oh, appreciate it. At 9 a.m., yes.
Hey. Yeah, I'm getting old. Anyway, hey, there's a report that there's a lawyer who's representing now multiple whistleblowers.
Yeah.
Phone call. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I think the President of the United States should upgrade the telephone system because what he has is a 1950s era party line system. So, you remember the old days where you could pick up a phone and you could listen to other people's...
Oh, yeah. That was great. Yeah.
That's what they have. A party line.
Yeah.
1950s phone system. But the lawyer that's representing all these whistleblowers, he's a heavy contributor to Biden.
Surprise there. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Well, this law firm is a law firm that's been trolling for advertising, basically, for whistleblowers. But, here's what I'm trying to figure out, Steve. They got a second whistleblower on the phone call. How can you blow the whistle on something that has been public for about 2 weeks, and the other person on the line, the Ukrainian president, has cleared Trump? How can you blow the whistle on something that's been public for 2 weeks?
I'll give you an answer to that. I was talking to a couple of my very liberal cohorts in my development, and they still subscribe to the Palm Beach Post. Anyway, they don't know the gist of the phone call. All they think is a phone call where Trump discussed, the secrets and all this other stuff. They don't know that it was all.
Oh, they don't know that it was public. They don't know that the Ukrainian president cleared Trump and that the transcript of the call has been released. They're not aware of this?
Exactly. That's stupidity on the first.
Yeah.
And as long as they keep pushing this phone call thing without giving the meat of the phone call, you have stupid people out there who will think, they got us.
Now, who do you think is the out of these two names? Which do you think is the most pathetic and petty, John McCain or Mitt Romney?
Well, McCain's dead.
No. But what I'm talking about, the last couple years of John McCain with Trump around. Obviously, John McCain's not anything now. But his 2 years with Trump versus Romney. Who's more pathetic, McCain or Romney?
The thing is, McCain took a swipe when Trump told him, hero for getting captured. So this got to be personal. Romney, he's just a piece of garbage. So Trump is now going to give him the Trump effect. He's going to put Romney in a hole, and Romney's a proud guy. So once you take Romney and you start embarrassing the living daylights out of him, he's going to crawl in his hole, and you won't hear from him again.
I mean, most of us, if we had $250 million and everything, and we'd been governor and and all this stuff, we would just retire with our family. But not Mitt Romney, because Mitt Romney still has a fantasy that he could be the president. He thinks he's going to be the savior of the Republican Party and get nominated and be the next president. I think he believes that.
Yeah, power is a very big.
I'll never respect Mitt Romney ever again. No matter, there's nothing Mitt Romney could ever say or do that I would gain one shred of respect with him after he put up that fake third-party candidate to try to screw us in the presidential election. He was trying to get Hillary elected. I mean, think about it. He was trying to get Hillary Clinton elected.
Well, when you see Trump go to Utah and have one of his rallies, and guess who's not going to be invited? The Senator Romney. Then you'll see. Then you're going to see. And I hope he puts somebody up to primary Romney.
Yeah.
Who's the head of.
Hey, by the way, you're going on the you're going on the Steve Kane cruise with us next month. Have you done your online check-in yet?
Already got it. Got my tickets. I'm ready to.
You're good to go.
The rest of the cohort.
Yeah, I got my on Friday. I got my luggage tags. My daughter and I, we got our luggage tags in the mail because we did our online check-in. I'm ready to. I'm almost packed. I'm taking my suit out of the closet today, and to get it dry clean.
Hey, make sure you have all your Trump gear ready. We're going to be Trumpinating the entire.
Oh yeah. All right, Steve. See you on the ship. All right, yes, he's joining us on the Steve Kane cruise. He went with us on the first one, and we're going to have a great time. All right, hey, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. Your calls certainly are welcome. 1-888-GO-KANE 1 888-465-2631 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences, up to and including amputation.
Good morning, everyone. Make
Now,
sure you
Medicare
subscribe.
recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my
Make
good
sure you
friends at
subscribe,
the
people.
Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are
I got this online. I saw one of the guys on Fox wearing it on Veterans Day, and my wife got it for me.
Shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth.
And it's a pretty cool
to stop
shirt.
Diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Hear that? That's the clock ticking till the Steve Kane Cruise sets sail on November 8th for 6 days of fun in the sun. There's still time to join us. First stop, Cayman Islands, then Costa Maya, where we visit the Mayan ruins together, then Cozumel.
I recorded this commercial at 4:30 this morning. Not bad for 4:30 in the morning, is it?
And me, Brian Craig.
I meant to do it over the weekend. I forgot.
561
I did this at home.
5779 561
All the sound effects and everything, 4:30 in the morning.
79.
I know, it's crazy.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWE.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Steve Kane Show. Yeah, I was just telling everybody in the chat room, that commercial there for the Steve Kane Cruise, I recorded that commercial at 4:30 this morning. I wrote it and recorded it and added all the effects and everything, 4:30 in the morning. Can you imagine? At all, before I even came in. How awake are you at 4:30 in the morning to do something like that, huh? Just unrelated here. I was just seeing this story here. 35 stores are taking a stand for workers. They're announcing that they're closing on Thanksgiving Day. My daughter asked me yesterday, we were out at Target yesterday, and my daughter asked me, hey, Dad, after we have dinner on Thanksgiving, and we eat early on Thanksgiving, don't you guys eat early on Thanksgiving? She says, will you go Black Friday shopping with me? And I didn't even think about it. It's kind of early. It's not even Halloween yet. And I said, yeah, we'll go. And there's 35 stores that are not going to be, stores are now opening on Thanksgiving Day. And, what happens on Thanksgiving is, you eat and you get bored. You want to go do something. So you go and, you go, someone's in Westerville, Ohio on the live stream. My sister lives in Westerville, Ohio. That's right, suburb of Columbus. So stores have started opening up earlier and earlier on Thanksgiving. They got a lot of stores here, Burlington, Costco, GameStop. That's where my daughter wanted to go, was GameStop, because there's a new video game system she's been saving up for, and she's been waiting for a Black Friday special. And GameStop is where she was going to go, but it's going to be closed on Black. This is the thing. Black Friday now starts, on Thursday. In America, the Black Friday thing has become really a tradition. You go to these stores and there's lines out front. It's a lot of fun. And, what the left will tell us, and the reason I bring this up and how it relates to the politics of today, the left will tell us that there's a new demographic in America. That's right. There's a new demographic in America, and that demographic is Hispanic immigrants. Well, they don't even know what the heck Thanksgiving is, but here's the thing. So liberals, I want you to think about this now. Elizabeth Warren should weigh in on this, and you'll see what I mean by that in just a second. Why are liberals defending Thanksgiving? The left are getting involved in workers' rights so that they don't have to work on Thanksgiving, right? Now, what is Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving is a great American holiday. And when I was a kid, like in kindergarten and stuff, Thanksgiving, we used to do the arts and crafts. Like some of us were pilgrims. We make the pilgrims hats. Some of us were Indians, you know. And it was a great thing, you know. And the liberal perspective, though, is that, and now this is a true perspective of liberals. So liberals view Thanksgiving as what? As the Nagasaki Hiroshima moment in North America. The left view Thanksgiving as one of the worst holidays in all of the world, because that's when the world ended. That was the beginning of the genocide against the Native Americans, that first Thanksgiving. And the left all of a sudden are trying to keep this big holiday. I know why they're really doing it, which I'll get to at the end of this. This big holiday, they're trying to save the workers' Thanksgiving. A day, there's two things that Thanksgiving does, right? It honors the first colonist of the Americas, and so goes the story that they invited the Indians over for a feast on what we now recognize to be Thanksgiving, because the Indians helped them get through that first tough winter. But the liberals will tell us then the genocide began, right? And there's another thing that Thanksgiving is. Now it's liberals who tell you that the Pilgrims were thanking the Indians. That is not true. The Pilgrims came to America for something that we've lost a lot of in America today. That's religious freedom. And the Pilgrims on that first Thanksgiving were thanking Jesus Christ for bringing them through that first winter. And the reason they brought the Pilgrims over was to, what? Convert them to Christianity. It wasn't to thank them for getting them through the first winter. It was to convert them to Christianity as they were thanking God who sent Jesus to the earth. So the liberals are trying to save a Christian holiday and also a holiday that symbolizes the beginning of the American Indian genocide that they're always griping about. So what are they really trying to do? And some of these 35 stores are pretty big ones. Marshalls, Crate and Barrel, Babies R Us, Barnes and Noble. Well, they're still open. Petco, Pier 1 Import, bunch of stores. Why are the liberals trying to keep stores shut on Thanksgiving, even though they were open last year and the year before? Do you know why? They want to have bad economic news for the president. What the left are trying to do, advocating for workers not to work on Thanksgiving, is to have a bad Black Friday. They want to have the worst Black Friday they can possibly have. And if they can get major retailers to keep their doors shut just a few hours on Thanksgiving and open up at midnight, which is technically Friday, they will have they'll have fewer sales. This is how they're thinking. They'll have fewer Black Friday sales, so they'll be able to show that the Black Friday sales did not meet expectations and try to give us bad economic news for the president. It's always about Trump. They want to have the worst Black Friday possible so they can use it against Trump, because that's all they care about. So they're not advocating to keep closed on Thanksgiving to help these workers. They hate Thanksgiving, the left, for the two reasons I just mentioned. They're just trying to hurt Trump with a bad Black Friday weekend. Everything the left does is just so damn pathetic, isn't it? And it's so transparent. Everything is about Trump. What bad news can we get for Trump today? How can we make Trump look bad? They were literally wishing for a recession a month ago, and it didn't happen. So now they're trying to do this. I tell you, the left, it's never about what it appears to be, and they never care about the people that they're trying, that you think they're trying to help, or they verbally say they're trying to help. There's always a larger agenda, and this one is to screw Trump. Now, again, I'm trying to figure out with this second whistleblower, I truly am, how can you blow the whistle on something that is already public? ABC News, huge headline yesterday. Second whistleblower comes forward after speaking with IG, an attorney. Mark, is it Zayed? The attorney representing the whistleblower who sounded the alarm on President Trump's dealings with Ukraine and triggered an impeachment inquiry, tells ABC News that he is now representing a second whistleblower who has spoken with the Inspector General. Now, again, he's blowing the whistle on a phone call that's been public, and the other person on the line, the Ukrainian president, has cleared Trump verbally in New York at the UN, but, you know, Zaid tells ABC News chief anchor George Stephanopoulos, a Clintonista, Stephanopoulos, that the second person, also described as an intelligence official, has firsthand knowledge of some of the allegations outlined in the original complaint. Well, you know what? Every single one of you listening to me right now, okay, have knowledge of that phone call because the president released the transcript and the Ukrainian president cleared him. No pressure, he said. So we all have knowledge. This is bizarre. The second person, also described as an intelligence official, has firsthand knowledge of some of the allegations outlined in the original complaint and has been interviewed by the head of the intelligence community's internal watchdog office. The existence of a second whistleblower, particularly one who can speak directly about events involving the president related to conversations involving Ukraine, could undercut Trump's repeated insistence that the original complaint released on September 22nd was totally inaccurate. We know it was inaccurate. We know that the first whistleblower complaint was inaccurate because the transcript was released and the Ukrainian president spoke out. They're acting as if, their whole operation is as if the transcript wasn't released and the president of the Ukraine didn't clear him and said, no pressure. Nobody pressured me. Oh my goodness. Both officials have full protection under the whistleblower law. They cannot be fired in retaliation. While this is ABC News. While the second official has spoken with the Inspector General, the internal watchdog office created to handle complaints, this person has not communicated yet with congressional committees conducting the investigation. The New York Times on Friday cited anonymous sources in reporting that a second intelligence official was weighing whether to file his own complaint and testify to Congress. I just don't understand. I mean, do I have some type of disability where I'm lacking comprehension? I'm not seeing anywhere in this story where they're telling us that the call was released and the Ukrainian president cleared him. I'm not seeing any of that in this ABC News story. They're reporting this story as if those events had not happened, at least so far in the story, and I'm pretty far down. Zaid's co-counsel confirmed in a tweet Sunday that the firm is representing multiple whistleblowers. According to the first whistleblower, more than half a dozen U.S. officials have information relevant to the investigation, suggesting the probe could widen even further. But all of you have information because the president released the call to us. Adam Schiff made brief remarks Sunday afternoon about the second whistleblower at a screening of the film The Great Hack in Los Angeles. What is that, a biography of him, The Great Hack? Let me say this, says Schiff, with respect to the most recent development, and that is the public reporting of the second whistleblower stepping forward, that we are tremendously dependent on people of courage stepping forward, Schiff said. People stepping forward to blow the whistle on something that has been public for 2 weeks. Okay, now here we go. Finally, 3/4 into the story. A transcript released by the White House of Trump's July 25th call with the Ukrainian president showed Trump asking a favor of foreign leader pushing him to launch. The Ukrainian president said no one pressured him. Let me see. I don't even see that mentioned in this story. I don't see this story. I'm skimming through the whole thing. That was towards the bottom of the story. Nowhere in this ABC News story do they tell you the Ukrainian president said he was not pressured and cleared Trump. It's not even mentioned in the story. These people are out of their minds. They're out of their freaking minds. Oh my goodness. It really shows you how stupid they believe the American people are. And you know what? There are people who still vote Democrat and don't see this, right? There are a lot of people who vote Democrat. They don't see it. They don't know. You know, it was amazing to me, Steve from Royal Palm that called before the last break. He said he's got some friends. They're liberals, and they're not even aware that the transcript has been released or that the Ukrainian president spoke about this and cleared Trump on multiple occasions. They don't even know this happened. They think the transcript still has not been released. Wow. You know who should be most upset about this, other than Donald Trump? President Trump should be very upset, and he is. But after President Trump, who should be most upset about this are Democrat voters, that your liberal news media and your Democrat liberal hack politicians think you're stupid and withhold information from you because they believe they can manipulate you. And you know what? They're right, because they're doing it. All right, let's take our last break of the first hour of Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Watch us live stream each and every morning on YouTube Live. Go to YouTube and search for Brian Craig. Brian Craig on YouTube, and it'll come up, and I'll be right there in front of you. All right, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Seniors, is there too much month left at the end of your money? You have worked hard your whole life, and you shouldn't be struggling in your golden years. And you know what? You don't have to. Call Roger Simon at Choice Mortgage Bank and talk to Roger about how a reverse mortgage can change your life. Roger has a reverse mortgage himself and understands your needs. Use the money for anything you want. Pay off your bills, including your mortgage if you have one. Stop working, take vacations, or anything else you wish. It's your money to do with what you want. And the best part is, you and your spouse can live in the home you love for the rest of your lives without worry, without financial struggle, or a mortgage payment. Call Roger Simon right now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730. 561-441-2730. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166254.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available.
Good morning, everyone.
A ton of money, and I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures. Just like
they should be mad.
Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Plus tax title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when you and use. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $18,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back, people. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Hey, how many of you out there are Medicare recipients? You know, we are in the open enrollment period right now, and of course I'm talking about Debbie over at I Will Advisors, who is a Medicare expert. You know, Medicare is a great thing. It certainly is. But there's only one time of year that you can make changes to your Medicare policy, and that is open enrollment period time, which we are in right now. This costs you nothing. And you want to call Debbie at I Will Advisors. If you're within the state of Florida, from Key West up to the Panhandle, Debbie at I Will Advisors can help you. If you're local here in South Florida, Debbie can come to you to help you with your Medicare, okay? You want to talk to Debbie. You want to find out, one, are your doctors covered on your plan next year? Because things change each and every year. Are your specialists covered next year? She'll find out for you. Are the medications that you are taking covered next year? Do you have a part this or that? I don't know all the different parts, but do you have something that you don't need that you're paying for? Is your local pharmacy going to take your insurance next year? This happens sometimes. Sometimes pharmacies don't get a deal, a contract, and they don't cover different policies. Debbie from I Will Advisors can find out the answers to all of these questions for you and make any changes for the coming year that you need to make. Once open enrollment is over, that's it. You cannot make changes until next year. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. If you're an overnight listener or listening right now early in the morning, call and leave a message, and they will call you back during business hours. Debbie's number at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's Debbie at I Will Advisors. I'm telling you, once open enrollment is over, you're done. And if your doctor, specialist, medication, pharmacy, all that stuff isn't covered, well, you got to wait till next year. And also make sure you're not paying too much. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Now, I just saw this on Drudge. The Never Trump Coalition that are, well, I guess they're siding with Trump on this impeachment scam. And who are some of the list of people here? Glenn Beck, the radio host who once called Mr. Trump an immoral man who is absent decency or dignity, now says that his defeat in 2020 would mark the end of the country as we know it. They throw Lindsey Graham in there, but he's been on board for a long time. And there's others, okay? Well, other than Lindsey Graham, and Mark Levin too, because Mark Levin has really come around, never trust a never Trumper. And, you know, a lot of these never Trumpers used to be big players, influential people. And they went against Trump, and they got behind this candidate or that candidate, and they thought that they were going to have a good friend who was the nominee and perhaps the president. And they were never Trumpers for whatever reason. Never trust a never Trumper. They will always go home to Mitt Romney in the end, okay? Except Mark Levin. I trust Mark Levin. And I know Glenn Beck is trying to get back in the good light with those of us on the Trump train, and he's doing some stuff today. Never trust a never Trumper. And there's a lot of them. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, a never Trumper is like an establishment Paul Ryan Republican. And they you know, when Trump's second term is over, they'll go back to that establishment group and try to freeze out all the Trumplicans, like Governor DeSantis here in Florida, that have been elected under Trump's reign. And, you know, this very bizarre exchange yesterday with Chuck Todd, with Brennan on Meet the Press. Did you see this? This was just strange. I'm not going to describe what it is. It'll explain itself. Brennan, former director of the Central Intelligence Agency, and remember, President Trump took the security clearance of Brennan away from him. He was on Meet the Press with Chuck Todd. I can't remember the last time I've played an audio clip from Meet the Press. Meet the Press has been so irrelevant for so long, and I've got two clips from Meet the Press. I don't even know if I'll play the second one, but listen to this. This is Brennan yesterday on Meet the Press, and it was such a strange exchange. And, you know, Chuck Todd really is annoying. When he asks a question that he thinks is so brilliant, he gets this, like, smirk on his face, and he, like, smacks his lips and gets this look on his face that he's just so proud of himself for asking this brilliant question that's going to screw Trump and no one ever thought of before. Do you know what I'm talking about with him? But anyway, here's Brennan. Very bizarre question from Chuck Todd, and Brennan's answer bizarre as well. Listen to this exchange.
How would the CIA assess the stability of the American government right now?
Yeah, and do you hear that little tone in Chuck Todd right now? He gets this little cutesy little tone. So what Chuck Todd is asking Brennan to do is put on his CIA analyst, glasses or whatever he wears. And how, because the CIA will assess the stability of democracies around the world and governments around the world. And Chuck Todd is asking Brennan to do just that with the Estados Unidos.
How would the CIA assess the stability of the American government right now? Oh, well, if it were assessing America as if it was another country? We would...
And I'll tell you another thing about Chuck Todd. When he asks these questions that he just thinks are so cute, clever, brilliant, and going to shift America's views on things because he's on Meet the Press, he also leans forward when he does it, and then he leans back. He gets very, very sure of himself. Ugh.
How would the CIA assess the stability of the American government right now? Oh, well, if it were assessing America as if it was another country?
We would look at it as a very corrupt government that is under the sway right now of this powerful individual who has been able to just corrupt the institutions and the laws of that country.
What would you say about the stability of the democracy?
I think it's no longer, a democracy if an autocrat has it in his hands, and people like Johnson and others are putty in his hands, which means that the democratic principles upon which this country is founded are eroding right now.
So the CIA would not assess America as a stable democracy?
I think given the polarization of the country as well, there's just tremendous political instability here, and which is consuming the government now, and it's not able to take care of the issues that it needs to address, whether it be on the domestic front or the national security or the foreign policy front. So yes, I think there's a real question about the stability.
Oh boy, so we're unstable, we're divided. This country has always been divided. Always. I mean, look at the Vietnam War era protest that they put out there. The Civil War. There's always been divisions in this country. It's just now, see, for the first time in the modern era, the divisions in this country, it's the left that are on the outs, okay? Because the left and the establishment are out of power and don't have control. They feel that the divisions in this country are like we've never seen before. And now, my recollection, he calls President Trump an autocrat. My recollection of an autocrat is a leader who demands, without question, obedience, right? I don't believe that that's what Trump asks of anyone. All Trump is saying is we had an election. It should be respected. They're trying to still question the last election and influence the future election in 2020. He's not asking for obedience. But the left think about this. They believe the country is more divided than we were in 1968. And, we weren't even divided then. It's always been a perception. But the left have always been able to control the agenda. And the left, I guess, are also the political establishment, right? And the deep state. And the deep state, the political establishment, the press, and the left have no juice at this point in the country. They have no control. They can't influence us. They can barely influence their own sycophant followers in the Democrat Party. Okay? They can't influence their own Democrats in the House to even get enough votes together to impeach President Trump. So the country is not divided. They feel it's divided because they're out right now. They have zero, for the first time ever, influence. There has never been such a time where the establishment, which covers all those groups, press, deep state, everybody, there's never been a point in time when the establishment has had so little influence. In fact, they've got zero influence right now over the federal government. They think they do. Nancy had a clever line that someone probably wrote for her, that the House always wins. Yeah, the White House, man. The White House. Oh, there was if you don't follow Don Jr. on Instagram and Twitter, you're missing out on a lot, because Don Jr. He's very good on social media. And yesterday on Don Jr.'s Instagram, he put up the cutest little video. And it's, Don Jr. has a little girl who's like toddler age. I don't know, how old is his little daughter? And Don Jr. takes out a $20 bill. I'm surprised he has such small denominations in his pocket. I would imagine his pockets would be filled with C notes, if any money at all. But anyway, he filmed this little video with his daughter, who's like 3, 4, 5. I don't know how old she is. And Don Jr. takes a $20 bill out, and he opens it up and shows the back of it to his daughter. And, of course, on the back of the $20 bill is the White House. And Don Jr. says to his little girl, "What is this?" And he points to the $20 bill. And she says, "That's where Grandpa lives." Did you see this video yesterday? It was pretty good. It was on Don Jr.'s Instagram. That's where Grandpa lives. And Don Jr. says, "That's right. That's where Grandpa is." Pretty funny, isn't it? I thought it was pretty cute. You'll never see that cute little moment on television, which is probably one of the most amazing videos I've seen from a first son and a first granddaughter throughout history. But if that was a Democrat president, they would have that all over the news, and it would be just the cutest thing. They would have it on Access Hollywood and Entertainment Tonight, and they'd have it on CNN, and they'd go, "Aw." But because it humanizes the Trump family, they're never going to show it. But go on Don Jr.'s Instagram. It's pretty cute. Check it out. All right. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I've got a gnat flying in here. Oh, boy, right in front of my nose. We'll take a quick break and be back. Don't go anywhere.
1970 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. This is the one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
The Nat's a Democrat? Probably.
And have her review your Medicare plan. 954-753-8080.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Roger Simon,
Be right back,
reverse
guys.
mortgage specialist at South Florida's Choice Mortgage Bank. I've found that reverse mortgages can be a very valuable financial vehicle for seniors. I truly change their lives for the better. In fact, I have a reverse mortgage myself, and it's certainly improved my life. Everyone's situation, of course, is different.
Be right
but
back.
I've found over and over that a reverse mortgage can solve many of a senior's financial problems. It's a valuable tool to allow you to age in place. And if you're a senior like me, that's a primary goal. By aging in place, I mean that you're financially able to stay in the home you love for the rest of your life. So if you own your home with or without a mortgage, and if you want to know how a reverse mortgage can change your life by giving you the financial freedom you need, find out how by giving me a call anytime at 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. I look forward to hearing from you.
Rates and terms subject to change daily.
That's right. Make sure you guys subscribe.
NMLS 166254. Hear that? It's the clock ticking till the Steve Kane cruise sets sail on November 8th for 6 days of fun in the sun. There's still time to join us. First stop, Cayman Islands, then Costa Maya, where we visit the Mayan ruins together, then Cozumel with the most beautiful beaches anywhere. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, on the Steve Kane Cruise. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid program with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people.
What did I say? I'll fix it after if I had a typo.
When you complete your trust with attorney Barry
Did I have a
Siegel,
typo?
he will give you
I'll
a
fix it after the
$100
show.
Gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group.
Oh, scan.
9 offices
Yeah,
in
it's supposed to be
South Florida,
scam.
including Boca
I'll
Raton,
edit it after the show.
and Coral Springs. Call 1-855
The keyboard's too small
FLA-37.
on the damn phones, you know what I mean?
Expressed on the following sponsored program
Gotta have little
are strictly
kid
those of the
thumbs.
host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff,
Landed on the
management, or
moon,
sponsors.
and it shows a map of the world, and it's only the United States, see?
6 till 9 a.m. weekdays and overnights midnight till 6 a.m. 7 nights a week. To call the show to...
Oh, boy. Welcome, welcome. Hour number 2 has begun. The whistleblower scam against President Trump has been exposed. I'm exposing it. Been doing some good exposure of it here on the program this morning. I'll review my exposure of the whistleblower scam in just a few minutes. You know, the left hate this country. We know this. We used to call them the Hate America First crowd. And I used to think when I was younger, when people would call the liberals the Hate America First crowd, I was always like, come on, you know, they just have a different viewpoint. They're still Americans. No, but they hate this country like the plague. They do. I don't understand why, but the left hate this country. I don't know why. And, you know, all this, there's so much controversy around liberalism in entertainment programming, right? With all these different live streams. We were talking about Netflix the other day, and there's one that I've been waiting for because it's so cheap. It is the Apple has their own streaming service that's coming. Is it next month? It's coming soon. And there's one show which I'm going to watch, and I was kind of looking forward to it. And then I was thinking about it, and it's like the liberal dream of the world. And you know what the left hate about America more than anything right now is that we're number one in everything, and we have been since World War II. The United States is number one in everything. No matter what the category is, if it's good, we're number one in it. And we're the major influencer in the world, and that drives them batty. And I wasn't going to bring this up, but I am. And I'm wearing a shirt today, and a couple people have asked me in the live stream, what's this shirt I'm wearing? And I saw this shirt on Fox News on Veterans Day. I think, you know that guy Pete, the veteran, is it Hedge? What is his name? You know what I'm talking about, Pete on Fox? He's on the weekends. He did a Veterans Day special, and he was sitting in his backyard talking to some veterans, you know. And he was wearing this shirt that I'm wearing now. It's not the exact same shirt. I mean, I ordered it. It's not the shirt Pete had on his body. But I saw this shirt. I thought that was the coolest shirt. And I'm going to get myself that shirt because it's so cool. And what it is, it's a map of the world on the front of my... If you go on YouTube, you can see it. It's a map of the world. And it's all blacked out except the United States has the American flag. And at the top of it, it has our flag, right? The American flag. And next to it, it says, landed on the moon. And, of course, we're the only ones who have landed on the moon. And that's why only our country is colored in with the flag. And it's a pretty good shirt. I like the shirt. It's different. Pete over there on Fox, that's how I found it. I like it. Just Google it. Landed on the Moon t-shirt. You'll find it. I'm sure online some people have asked me where they can get the shirt. I know my wife got it for me. I said, I'd like to get that shirt. My wife ordered it for me. She buys all my clothes, as most husbands do. Pretty good shirt. So anyway, you know, we talk about all the liberalism and how the left use programming against us. There's a new streaming service coming from Apple, and their first premiere show is about the moon landing. And there's an actor in this who's very, very good. He was in The Killing. He's like Swedish or something. He was in The Killing, and in this recent Amazon series called Hannah. He's a very good European actor, and he plays Neil Armstrong. And if you don't have Apple, you may not have seen this. If you don't have Apple TV, if you go on YouTube, you can look up the trailer for this. I can't remember the name of the show. Maybe I'll look it up during the break. I can't look it up while I'm talking to you. But it's an alternative history show, and it's Apple's first live streaming major show. They're promoting the heck out of it. I saw a new trailer for it over the weekend, and in the beginning, they show who's one of the greatest Americans ever, Neil Armstrong, sitting in a bar over a drink, right? Here you got Neil Armstrong, who, come on, I think Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon because he had that great name. I think that's why he got picked to be the commander of that mission. But anyway, they got Neil Armstrong drinking at a bar, looking for answers at the bottom of a glass. I mean, to portray Neil Armstrong in such a light's disgraceful. And he looks up at the TV. You can see the trailer on YouTube. I'm sure you can find it. And the first man to land on the moon was not Neil Armstrong, but a Russian. And the whole series is about what would have happened, what would the world be like if the Russians landed on the moon first and we didn't. By the way, the Russians never landed on the moon. And at first I thought, oh, okay, I'm into alternative history. I like Harry Turtledove. And I'm going to watch the show. Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, But I was just thinking about it. As somebody was asking me about my shirt, what is this show about? And Apple's obviously liberal. And, as liberal. And remember they had that movie was it Ryan Reynolds that played Neil Armstrong in First Man? I've not seen this movie, and I don't know if I ever will. And they didn't show him planting the flag, and he did an interview. Ryan Reynolds. Was it Ryan Reynolds, or was it the other Ryan? There's two famous Ryans. And he's Canadian. The actor is Canadian. And he said, well, the moon landing was a human event, a global event, a worldwide event, not a uniquely American one. Really? Tell that to Gus Grissom and the guys that died in Apollo 1, that it was a global event. Oh, you can't tell them they died getting America there first? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And so what they're trying to do out in Hollywood is take America's greatest accomplishment away from us, and that is the moon landing. And when liberals see an alternative history where the Soviet Union got to the moon and we didn't, and they're number one, that is like pornography to the left. They love it. Oh, a world where America's not dominant. A world where America's not number one. The liberals just eat that up and they get goosebumps at the thought of that. I'll look up what this series is called. And now with all this being said, I'm going to watch it, but I know. Well, I I'm not sure what the show's called. I'll have to find out what this show's called. If somebody knows in the chat, let me know. For All Mankind. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Let me see. Is it For All Mankind? Let me see here. Let me look it up. Let me see here. I think it is For All Mankind, I think is what they call it. Yes, For All Mankind. Yeah, here's the Wikipedia. And the picture for it is Neil Armstrong looking like a Skid Row wino. They have Neil Armstrong looking like a drunken barfly. And this is what the Wikipedia says. For All Mankind is an upcoming American science fiction web television miniseries created and written by Ronald D. Moore, who did the new Battlestar Galactica. It's for Apple TV+. The series will dramatize an alternative history depicting what would have happened if the global space race had never ended after the USSR succeeds in the first manned moon landing. Okay, in the alternative timeline, the USSR beats the USA to the moon, setting its first Russian cosmonaut on it and dubbing it Red Moon. This event leaves NASA devastated. It doesn't mean those working there have given up, as they challenge the Soviet Union a second time to show that there is no giving up hope. And then what the trailer goes into is, since we lost being first on the moon, NASA races to be the first at something. So what they do is they want to put women on the moon, and one of them is black, one of them, and so they want to. It's a terrible television show, and it's how the liberals view us, and I know, it's the left, with their alternative history. They want to take away the moon landing. That's exactly right. They want to take away our moon landing. They want to take away our hero Neil Armstrong and rewrite it with some girls that never went to the moon. This is how the left are. The left hate this country. And, they have these two recent productions, For All Mankind and That First Man, about Neil Armstrong. Notice they don't even cast Americans to play Neil Armstrong. I like this actor in this new series. Don't get me wrong. I do like him. But, he's not an American. Maybe they couldn't. His name is Jeff Branson. Where's he from? He's I don't know, he's from it says he's from Missouri, but he grew up over in Sweden because he's in these Swedish shows. I don't know. But I do know this. The left hate this country, okay? And they're using fiction to rewrite our history because most people view movies and television and live streaming as the real world as opposed to what really happened, right? As opposed to books and the history in which we've experienced it. And for Apple over there, Tim Cook, as much as I love my iPhone 11 Pro and my Apple TV and my Mac and all this stuff, okay, I love the Apple products. But liberal Tim Cook and all these guys over at Apple, to take one of the greatest American heroes of all time, Neil Armstrong, and turn him into a drunken barfly wino, he'll probably be going to AA meetings in this and a psychiatrist after the Russians land on the moon first. I can see where the show's going. That's what the left do. They always hate us. Now, with all that being said, I'm going to take the first break of this hour, and I'm going to get back into this whistleblower scam and how it's been exposed and what's going on here. I know I went over some of this at the beginning of the show at 6, but I want to recap it a little bit before I bring up anything else that is new. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Someone said, Brian, it's a TV show. Yeah, how many movies have been done about the original story? Not that much. Not that much. There's not been that much done about the moon landing. And the problem is, I know it's only a TV show, but this is where the younger generation get their info, okay? They get their info from TV and live streaming, and they'll take away a negative opinion of the greatest heroes of all time, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and others. All right, let's take our break, 16 minutes after 7. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll continue right after this.
This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about Dr. Mitch Patez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45, and I was starting to slow down a bit. I met with Dr. Patez, and he found that my testosterone level was low. We men begin losing our testosterone starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Patez told me I was approaching the beginning of andropause. That's the male equivalent of menopause. I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little pellets inserted under my skin, and now my testosterone levels are being restored to where they were when I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life, it's better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men, it works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause.
And that's how the left are, a bunch of scum buckets.
You don't have to live.
Never trust the left.
Of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaraton.com. Or give him a call, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And tell him Brian Craig sent you.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. This is the one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080, and have her review your Medicare plan. 954-753-8080.
Hello, my name is Todd Shallett, Florida licensed and bonded public adjuster in the state of Florida. I work for Amerilos Incorporated. I'm the founder, and I've been working since 1993 as your public adjuster. Amerilos Incorporated has helped thousands of homeowners get tens of millions of dollars more than what their insurance companies paid them. We offer a second opinion on your claim. If you suffer damage from Hurricane Matthew, Irma, or Michael,
I know, it's
not
crazy.
too late to get a second
Yeah, they're doing it on the
opinion.
50th anniversary, too.
Your house back in shape.
On the damn
I'm sure
50th
you
anniversary. It's probably
you want to work
when
with someone that has
when is the show
experience in this
debuting?
industry. I've been doing this since 1993, and our service is very valuable because if we don't get you
So I can
any
find the
additional
debut.
funds,
Oh,
there's
well,
no
they
charge
missed.
for what we do. Write
Well,
this
no,
number
they missed it
down.
because it was July. It's
877
debuting next month, but it's still the year.
LOSS. That's 877-644-5677. If you had a loss, call Amerilos. One of our adjusters are standing by to make that valuable appointment with you. You deserve to get a second opinion. We work for you, not the insurance company. Call right now. 877-644-LOSS.
Todd Shallett, Florida license number 823-9272.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Welcome back, one and all. Okay, so we are being told that if you ask a foreign government to investigate a political opponent, that you have committed some type of crime, right? Isn't that what the left are telling us? Yeah, that's what they're saying. If you ask a foreign government to look into something involving your political opponent, you've committed a crime. If you hold office, you should be removed from that office. If you don't hold office, you should be prevented from holding office in the future, and maybe you should be investigated, charged, and prosecuted with severe crimes, because asking a foreign government to investigate a political opponent is a high crime. This is what they're telling us. Well, I'm a bit confused because I have this clip here. It's from MS-13 BC. Rachel Maddow is interviewing Hillary Clinton. Okay? Now, Hillary Clinton, she's running again. Just waiting for Biden to drop out. There's this news story about Elizabeth Warren lying about why she was fired. She used to say, she was saying she was fired for being pregnant, and then years ago she had a different story why she lost that teaching job. That's Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, I believe, is behind all of this business with Joe and Hunter Biden, and he's done now. Joe Biden's done. He just doesn't know it. And this latest thing about Elizabeth Warren lying about getting fired by a principal for being pregnant, and by the way, she's the source that she lied because she tells two different stories. That's the Clintonistas at work again. They're paving the way for Hillary Clinton to come in and be the savior of the world. And, yeah, I know. So anyway, back to this. So asking a foreign government to do research and investigate a political opponent is a high crime. Well, explain this to me. This is Rachel Maddow, and she's talking with Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton says something here. Let me play this, and we'll talk about it.
By tonight, ask China. That's right. And
Okay, the one with the deep voice there, that's Rachel Maddow.
by tonight, ask China. That's right. And not only that, China, if you're listening, why don't you get Trump's tax returns? I'm sure our media would richly reward you.
What? How can that be? Has Hillary Clinton just committed a high crime? Has Hillary Clinton committed some form of treason? Now, so, yeah. So here's Mrs. Clinton. She's asking the Chinese to do research for the media to get Trump's taxes, and then she says, China, if you do this, you're going to be richly rewarded. Now, what Trump said, he was cleared of that. The Ukrainian president said, no pressure, and we've got the transcript. So Trump didn't do any of this. But they're telling us that if you ask a foreign government to investigate a political opponent, this is treasonous, this is high crimes. So, with that in mind, has Hillary Clinton, has she committed a crime? She is on national television. She's on American national television, part of NBC News, MSNBC, asking the Chinese to illegally hack into U.S. government computers using some type of spy operation, I guess, get President Trump's taxes illegally, and then take this legally obtained information from your Chinese spy operation and give it to the American liberal media. And Mrs. Clinton says, if you do this, China, you will be richly rewarded.
By tonight, ask China. That's right. And not only that, China, if you're listening, why don't you get Trump's tax returns? I'm sure our media would richly reward you.
I mean, what the hell? Mrs. Clinton. You know, the way... You can't make this stuff up. They don't even see or hear themselves. We've got Hillary Clinton doing on Rachel Maddow's show what they're accusing Trump of doing, but she did it, right? We've got Joe Biden on videotape confessing his shakedown operation with the Ukrainians. I mean, what, you know. Remember, rules for radicals. One of the first rules in rules for radicals is accuse your opponent of doing what you're doing. It's in rules for radicals. I'm not kidding. It's in there. Why is this not the lead story everywhere in America today? Mrs. Clinton talking to Rachel Maddow. Don't you think that should be the lead? It's great video. It's on NBC News. Maybe Mrs. Clinton could explain herself. She seems pretty crystal clear about what she's saying here. She's communicating through NBC News to the Chinese. And you'll be richly rewarded. Well, how are they going to be richly rewarded, Mrs. Clinton? What are you talking about here? Wow. Wow. Yeah, right. Boy, oh boy. You know, it is so difficult to be Donald Trump. I mean, what Donald Trump goes through every moment of every day, he's got to deal with this garbage, and on top of that, he's got to run the country. You know? It's difficult. I mean, it's amazing to me. You know, over the weekend, President Trump retweeted the video of Adam Schiff thinking he was colluding with Ukrainian officials to get dirt on Trump. He retweeted that. His over 50 million Twitter followers all saw it. Have you seen that on television yet either? I tell you, this is, and the media out there, the liberal media are attempting to resurrect Fox News Channel. They are. I'm going to play a clip or two about this in just a bit, but Fox News, I've talked a lot about, even Rush was talking about Fox News should be the never Trump. Fox News has some good people on it, but there's a lot of creeps over there beyond just Shepard Smith. I mean, look at that lowlife Napolitano over there, right? I mean, Fox News is the never Trump network. There are some good people over there. Don't misunderstand me. They're not all creeps. But a lot of us, I don't think I'm alone in this. I think a lot of us have walked away from Fox News. And I have. I mean, I do watch here, and I've got to watch and keep, abreast of everything that's going on all the cable networks to do my job properly. But Fox News is losing credibility with conservatives, with Trump people. And there's an exchange that happened. Where do I have this exchange? I'm going to take the break, and then after the break, I want to play this clip from CNN over the weekend. And I believe what they are doing is trying, desperately, they are trying to get Trump supporters back over to Fox News Channel because so many of us have left. I'll play this when we get back. And also, I'm going to go through again these clowns that are running this coup against President Trump, how this whistleblower scam has been exposed, that I exposed this morning, and I'm going to go back over that. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888 Go Kane 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. That is a toll-free call from anywhere, no matter where you are listening to this program. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Don't go anywhere.
Are you tossing and turning in bed all night long? Do you wake up tired and groggy? Your days of not sleeping well at night are over with MyPillow. I sleep on a MyPillow. My wife sleeps on a MyPillow. Steve Kane sleeps on a MyPillow. And we are all getting the best night's sleep we've ever had. And you will too with your MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com and take advantage of the 2 MyPillows for the price of 1 special when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. 2 MyPillows for the price of 1. But you gotta use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, Mom and Dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523.
Oh, you have to, Crazy Horse.
4325.
Hey, is everyone subscribed? If you're not subscribed on YouTube, subscribe. And there's 89 in the chat and only 25 likes. So if all you guys in the chat could like the video, I'd appreciate that too, if you don't mind. If you're on a mobile device, close out the chat, the like and subscribe button come up, and then just reopen the chat.
30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone. 561-523-4325.
We'll be back in just a minute.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high.
Oh, man.
I don't have insurance. My schedule is
No,
too
no.
hectic.
CNN is trying to prop up Fox News.
Is over. Thanks to any lab test.
You wouldn't think they would do that, but they're doing it because they need Fox News.
Prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel.
I'll play it for you after the break. You guys will see.
Complete thyroid panel $49. Diabetic A1C test only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out.
Guys, thanks for the likes. Keep liking and subscribing. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Click the notification bell.
Be sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes micronutrient.
31 likes, 93 in the chat. So if all you guys in the chat could like and subscribe, that would be so spectacular.
Test for it. Any lab test owl plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call. 954
Thank you, guys.
916-1072.
Hey, Texas, good morning. Where's everyone at in the chat room? Tell me where you're located, like what state, what country.
Take control of your health with any lab test now of Plantation. 954.
And are you a Democrat or a Republican? Dem or Republican?
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living
Louisiana.
trust. $350 for single.
We got any Democrats in here?
$50 for married couples. When you complete
Pennsylvania
your trust with
Republican.
Attorney Barry Siegel,
Damn straight.
He will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group with 9 offices in South Florida.
Republican in
including
Washington.
Overtone, Plantation, and
California
Coral Springs.
Republican.
Call 1-855
Independent.
FLA 3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Alrighty, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Oh man. Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget, those of you that are Medicare recipients, it is open enrollment period. This is the one time of year that you can make changes and review your Medicare policy. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, no matter where you are in the state of Florida. She will review your policy at no charge. If you're here locally in South Florida, she can come to you in person if you can't make it to her. But no matter where you are in Florida, Debbie at I Will Advisors can help you. This costs you nothing. You only have the possibility of gaining. And when you talk to Debbie, she will completely review at no charge your Medicare policy. You want to make sure your primary care physician is covered next year. You want to make sure your specialist is covered next year. You want to make sure your prescriptions are covered. You want to make sure your local pharmacy is taking your policy next year. You want to make sure that if you're paying for a supplement, that you have to be paying for that supplement, that you really need it, or that you're not paying too much for that supplement. Debbie can help you with all this and much, much more. Her number, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080. If you're an overnight listener, or you're listening early in the morning right now, call and leave a message. If you're listening in the middle of the night, and it's 2:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, still call, leave a message, and they will call you back. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Once open enrollment is over, you're stuck. And if these things aren't covered, or you're paying too much, too bad until next open enrollment. Again, Debbie at I Will Advisors, listed at stevekaneshow.com, 954-753-8080. 8080. Okay, so a lot of conservatives have left Fox News. They really have. You know, for me, I became really disgusted at Fox News when they got rid of the great Eric Bolling. I really liked Eric Bolling a lot. He had that new show, and boom, he's gone. You know, and even Rush was calling them the Never Trump Network the other day. So they need Fox News to spread their establishment mainstream garbage. And a lot of conservatives have left Fox News. And there was this exchange on CNN yesterday with Brian Stelter about Fox News. And I know a lot of people are sharing this on the Twitter and they're talking about it, but I think they're all wrong about this. This is the one where the guy tells one of the guests, his name's not important, one of the pundits tells Brian Stelter that Fox News is spreading poison. See, the reason I believe they're attacking Fox News in such vile ways is because they want Trump supporters to go back to Fox News so that they can keep you worked up. They don't want you getting your news and information from the Gateway Pundit, Breitbart, or even the president's Twitter. They want you to get the news from Shepard Smith on Fox News, okay? And they know that you don't trust Fox News anymore. So they figure if CNN starts attacking Fox News, some of the Trump-trained people will go back to it. Listen to this exchange, and I'll share with you exactly what I mean. This is Brian Stelter with a group of pundits. Again, the name's unimportant of the pundits, all the same. Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. But listen to this.
The White House declined all these interview requests today. They declined CNN and all the broadcast networks. No White House aides are out on television defending Trump. Unfortunately, that means, actually in a good way, that means there's less disinformation. There's less misinformation being spread to the public today.
Okay, now this is an interesting thing there. I think the White House made a very smart move, keeping their people off the weekend talk shows, all of them, including that Fox News Sunday garbage. It doesn't leave them a new way to go. Do you understand what I mean? What they did is they took away their ability to have some new direction on Monday with someone saying something on from the White House on one of the one of the Trump surrogates on one of the Sunday shows. I think it was a pretty smart move. But anyway, back to this.
But today, because the White House declined to give interviews. What a sad state of affairs that the White House giving interviews means there's going to be more misinformation out in the world.
Although a lot of what we saw last week was a lot of these talking points really fall apart when they entered the real world, whereas they still are allowed to thrive on Fox. And you just played that clip where people were talking about coups and civil wars. It's really
Okay, now this whole thing that Trump and others talking about a civil war is an incitement of violence. Civil war is a metaphor. It's just an American expression we use all the time. Okay, we were talking on Fox News. Fox News is in a civil war right now between the news division and the opinion division at night. Right? There's a civil war going on. Hannity, Tucker, Judge Jeanine, against the news division. It doesn't mean that anyone's inciting violence. But anyway, back to this. This is Fox or CNN yesterday promoting Fox.
Whereas they still are allowed to thrive on Fox. And you just played that clip where people are talking about coups and civil wars. It's really disturbing stuff. And I actually kind of wonder, at Lachlan Murdoch, the head of Fox, how does he really look at himself in the mirror every morning knowing that poison is his contribution to society? I honestly, I strongly don't understand how he does it.
I wonder if we have to go back to real basic points, including quoting the U.S. Constitution, quoting the definition of coup. If we're going to be dealing with these lies out there in the public domain, we've got to get back to basics and explain what is an impeachment process? How is it legally defined in the Constitution?
Oh, my goodness, yes. Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to give basic civics lessons to our viewers because they didn't go to Harvard, Yale, or Columbia, or Princeton, and they don't understand the meaning of words and process. And please, so arrogant over there. But that was just one clip. I heard over the weekend there's a lot of CNN attacking Fox, and they're calling stories on Fox wild conspiracy theories. This is them trying to get you to go back home to Fox. Now, what I was talking about at 6, and I want to recap this, is this whistleblower scam because no one is talking about this. So it came out over the weekend that there's a second whistleblower who has firsthand, this is not hearsay like the first whistleblower, there's a second whistleblower who has firsthand knowledge of the shakedown on this controversial call between President Trump and the Ukrainian president. Everyone listening to the sound of my voice has knowledge of that phone call because the president released a transcript and the Ukrainian prime minister cleared him. This is what's going on here with this, that no one's talking about. Hopefully some people later in the day, will pick up on what I'm sharing with you because they are a bunch of clowns. And this is the most absurd thing I have ever seen come out of the media or the political establishment. And it really, truly shows you desperation. And this is what I mean. And by the way, the second whistleblower is from the intelligence community, too. They have an entire impeachment plan in place, okay? And this whistleblower scam is a part of it. I know they're saying there's more whistleblowers on top of this. The plotters in this coup of whistleblower impeachment with the Ukrainian phone call, they knew about this second whistleblower before the first whistleblower came to our attention. This is how they plan this entire strategy out. President Trump did what they did not expect him to do because presidents don't do this. He released the transcript of the phone call. Immediately, he released the transcript of the phone call with the Ukrainian president. And then the Ukrainian president in New York told the worldwide press at the UN that there was no pressure. It's not true. Clear Trump. So they planned this operation with never expecting the transcript to be released, so that there could always be this mystery around the phone call because no president releases phone call transcripts. We're never going to see it, so they can imply anything they want is in it, right? And then these whistleblower coup clowns, I guess none of them knew that the Ukrainian president was coming to the UN about the same time as the first whistleblower. These idiots, and again, government workers, incompetence. Trump did what no president has done, released the transcript, and then had the Ukrainian president take questions live on TV, and he said, no pressure. Didn't happen. Clear Trump. But there's the operation that they have going is going as if we've never seen the transcript or heard from the Ukrainian president. So the question I've been asking is a pretty basic question, and I'd like someone to explain this to me. Because what they're reporting in the news now is that a second whistleblower with firsthand knowledge of the phone call has blown the whistle and has talked to the inspector general. How can you blow the whistle on something that has been public for 2 weeks? Was it a week or two when we got the transcript? It's been at least a week. Seems like it's been going on for months. You can't blow the whistle on something that is public. Everybody listening to my voice has knowledge of that phone call because you've seen the transcript and you've heard it discussed and you've seen the Ukrainian president. So how can you blow the whistle on something that is public? You can't. So why are they still running with this story in such a way? It makes no sense. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. And it's such an obvious point, I haven't heard anybody. As soon as I saw a second whistleblower about the phone call yesterday, I'm like, this is a joke. And I go through the news this morning while I'm doing my show prep, and I didn't hear any person say what I'm sharing with you. They're all, oh, well, there's a second one. This one has firsthand knowledge. We all have knowledge. We've read the transcript, and it's been discussed endlessly on every talk show, on television and radio and online. Everyone's been talking about it. You can't blowing the whistle. Now think about this. Blowing the whistle on this phone call that's public would be like blowing the whistle that, the sky's blue. We know the sky's blue. We've all seen the sky. Oh, we got a second whistleblower with firsthand knowledge of the call. The world has knowledge of the call because we've read the transcript. And it really shows you how pathetic and desperate, really, these coup conspirators are with this whistleblower scam, right? They got this whole whistleblower scam going on. And they're not able to change up their operation with the reaction of their enemy, which is Donald Trump. They're acting still as if the transcript had not been released. If the transcript had not been released, or even a partial transcript was all we have gotten, and the Ukrainian president was not in New York telling the worldwide press everything that happened. And notice when the Ukrainian president was at the UN, the press didn't seem interested in even talking to him about it. President Trump had to bring it up to him. And there was no follow-up. The whole press was in New York covering everything going on at the UN, and they wouldn't even talk to the guy. Trump made them talk to the Ukrainian president. So why do you think, got a couple questions here. One, how do you blow the whistle on something that is public, this phone call? That's one, because I'm very confused. You can't have a whistleblower to something that's public. And two, why are the media and the Democrats and the establishment still moving forward as if the transcript of the call has not been released and that the president of the Ukraine has not cleared Trump and said no pressure? I've almost got a headache. My eyes hurt this morning trying to figure this one out. And what I'm wondering is, the people in the media that have not brought up this very obvious and simple point that I brought up this morning, do they not see what I see? How do you blow the whistle on something that's public? Do they not see this? Are they so clouded by their hatred of President Trump? Or do they see it and are just ignoring it, thinking that the American people are stupid? It's bizarre. Okay, we're going to take our break. When we get back, there's more to share. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Toll-free call from anywhere. We'll be right back.
Open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
I know, it's insanity. It's complete insanity.
Tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone.
It's freaking insane.
That absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Plus tax title includes $8.99 dealer. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $18,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Hear that? That's the clock ticking till the Steve Kane Cruise sets sail on November 8th for 6 days of fun in the sun. There's still time to join us. First stop, Cayman Islands, then Costa Maya, where we visit the Mayan ruins together, then Cozumel, with the most beautiful beaches anywhere. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and join Steve Kane and me, Brian,
Hey, Arizona.
on the Steve Kane Cruise. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. So there's all these, what I consider to be bizarre stories, breaking stories and everything, and no one's covering them but me here. I'm breaking all this news today, and no one else is getting to it. Now, they also have these phony polls that the majority of the American people support impeaching the president. Really, what polls are that? I saw a story today again that the NFL can't fill up their stadiums. Here you got Trump doing what the NFL cannot do, filling up stadiums anytime he pleases, right? He's got a rally this week. Is he in Louisiana this week? Never an empty seat in that. Maybe what the NFL should do to fill up the stadiums is have Trump come out and give a halftime speech. That's right. President Trump should be the halftime show. That's right. They'll fill up the stadiums. And now, so they've been telling us I think it was 53%. There was a poll the other day. 53% of Americans support impeaching the president. Yeah, right. Listen to this. Politico reporting, impeachment a flop in key suburban swing districts. Yeah. Now, here's another thing you're not going to see in the mainstream media today. There's a lady congresswoman that I've never heard of. She's a Democrat, and she's from Michigan. And I was telling Steve on Friday, you get such a false idea of what's going on in Congress. You hear from about a dozen members of Congress. Out of the 535, anytime you turn on the TV, it's one of about a dozen or so. Maybe a few more members of Congress always blabbing, Most people in Congress, you don't even know who they are. You don't know their names. You never see them on TV. Just the same activist liberal jerks all the time out there saying stupid things. Well, this lady congresswoman, did I call her a congressman? Oh, sorry. Whatever. This lady congresswoman, she's a Democrat, and she's from Michigan. And she's back home in her Michigan district. And Michigan's important, of course, because Michigan, we won Michigan. Liberals think they're going to be able to take it back from President Trump. Good luck. So this Democrat congresswoman is at a town hall in her own district talking to her own constituents. And she starts coming out in favor of impeachment. And what happens is the reason you will not see this on CNN, because they have a narrative. And the talking point is the majority of Americans support impeachment. Right? They're trying to do a Kreskin. They're trying to, hypnotize you or something. So listen to this. Michigan lady congressman talking to her own constituents at a town hall meeting in Michigan.
The issue that got to me was this idea that the president, the most powerful man in the world, reached out to a foreigner, a foreign leader, and asked him to dig up dirt on an American, on a political
Did you hear that? Not true! I love that part. Let me give you, I love this part. Oh, she wasn't expecting this.
To a foreigner, a foreign leader, and asked him to dig up dirt on an American. On a
I know, you're not going to see that on CNN or MS13BC. You might see it on Fox, maybe. And you know what? If you see it, if this makes its way on television, if it makes its way, they'll go to the Democrat hack pundit and they'll say, I don't even know this lady's name, by the way, this congresswoman. I don't care. I'll never probably hear from her again or hear of her again. I don't care. You don't need to know all these people's names and who they are. We just know she's a Democrat in Michigan. She's in the House and she's in a town hall in her own district. If this makes it into the mainstream press, even on Fox, and they throw this to, I saw this on the Twitter this morning, and they throw this to the liberal pundit like they like to do, they're going to tell you that that's a Democrat district. Oh, yeah, but it has a long history of going for Republicans. It went for Trump. It went for Bush. It went for Reagan. They'll tell you all this crap. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. We don't know. We never heard of this lady. But they'll try to explain it away. This is absolutely amazing. So if impeachment is so popular, if it's so popular, why is a Democrat in her own district in Michigan getting booed off stage in front of her own constituents in her district that just elected her? Keep in mind, she's been elected or reelected, whichever, since, Trump came on the scene. So it's a district that went Democrat in the last election because she represents it. So this tells me that even Democrats don't buy this garbage. They might be Democrats, but they don't buy it. Oh, man. And the look on this lady's face when she's getting booed and attacked by her, see, it wasn't supposed to be this way. Because she's supposed to be, because she believes what they tell us in the mainstream media, including Fox, that 53% of Americans support impeachment, that it's a popular idea. And I would think that while that clip has not made it into the mainstream media, that members of Congress have seen it online like I did on Twitter, and they're thinking to themselves, I mean, you think about it. Do you think that woman in Michigan wants to vote yay on impeachment? Now, if it comes up for a vote in the House, she may be forced to by Nancy Pelosi, but do you think she really wants to vote yes, yay on impeachment when she's getting booed off stage by her own constituents in her Democrat district that's elected her since Trump's election? I don't think so. What's going through this woman's mind is, oh man, Nancy and Schiff have screwed me. That's what would be going through my mind. The polls that Nancy and Schiff are giving us, they gave us in that, meeting the other day must have been wrong because my constituents are booing me. My constituents are saying I'm a liar. Believe me, this woman is panicked about an impeachment vote, and that's why I've been telling you they don't have the votes. If they had the votes, they'd take the vote. I mean, listen to this again. I mean, did you hear this one on the way in, Steve? I mean, this should be the lead video at the top of every television broadcast today and every radio show. Town Hall Democrat in Michigan.
What got to me was this idea that the president, the most powerful man in the world, reached out to a foreigner, a foreign leader, and asked him to dig up dirt on an American. On
Yeah, they heckled her. They heckled her right off. Not true. Says who? No. They heckled their own congresswoman right off stage in a Democrat district. And don't let anyone tell you it's a conservative district if this makes it on TV. The lying Democrat pundits will tell you this woman has been elected or at least reelected since Trump's election because she was up in the last one. Now, listen, got a question for you here. Do you want to look and feel like you did when you were young? Who doesn't say yes to that, right? Everybody. Well, there's a way you can do it, and that's what Dr. Mitch Matez. Dr. Mitch Matez. I love Dr. Matez. He's my doctor. He's a friend of mine. He's a good guy. And he does incredible work with hormone replacement pellet Therapy. Call Dr. Matez. Call today. Make an appointment. It will cost you nothing. For listeners of the Steve Kane Show, he gives you a completely free consultation. Non-Steve Kane listeners not only pay for that consultation, they pay a lot for it. But he gives it to Steve Kane listeners for nothing. And I went through that consultation. When I first met with Dr. Mitch Matez about hormone replacement pellet therapy, he said, I want you to go through the same deal that anybody else goes through that walks through my door. And I said, Dr. Matez, I've been hearing Steve talk about hormone replacement pellet therapy for over 10 years. I know everything about it. He says, no, you don't. He says, I'm going to put you through this. You're going to go, this is the consultation anybody gets. And I tell you something, that consultation was amazing to me. And he asked me all kinds of questions about myself that I had never even considered. And hormone replacement therapy changed everything he asked me about for the better. And he really reverses the hands of time. And I just give you one quick one he asked, because we all know how it brings back your sex drive. And if you're a man and you can't get or maintain an erection, hormone replacement pellet therapy, boom, you'll be able to get and maintain an erection on demand. You're not going to take some pill, wait around for a couple hours, and then your lady's already gone to sleep or gone home, and then, I'm ready. It doesn't work that way with hormone replacement pellet therapy. You can get an erection on demand. Women, not only will you get your sex drive back, since hormone replacement pellet therapy reverses all of the signs and symptoms of menopause, including the mood swings, which I believe menopause is the number one cause for divorce. I think women go through it. Their hormones are out of whack, and the fights start and marriages break up. The mood swing's gone. The night sweat's gone. Your sexual desire returns. And then another thing with menopause, women lose the ability to have sex, or at least to have pleasurable sex, because of vaginal dryness. And vaginal dryness is completely reversed with hormone replacement pellet therapy. Okay, and there's a lot of other incredible benefits too. One thing it does is, when I met with Dr. Matez, the first thing he said to me, hey, Brian, you don't get haircuts as often as you used to, do you? It never even occurred to me. And I said, you know what? I never thought about that, but it's true. I used to get a haircut about once a month, and I realized I was getting haircuts every 2 months. And he says, well, when you start hormone replacement pellet therapy, your hair is going to grow in faster. You're going to be getting haircuts more often. And I get a haircut now about every 3 weeks. Just got one yesterday, in fact. And if, luckily for me, knock on wood, I don't suffer from hair loss. But if you are a man or a woman who is suffering from hair loss, thinning hair, hormone replacement pellet therapy, not only will the hair you have grow back thicker and fuller so you can cover up those thinning areas, it stops hair loss dead in its tracks. You heard me right. Stops hair loss dead in its tracks. Call Dr. Mitch Matez for that no-charge consultation. Call him right now. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Make sure you mention the Steve Kane Show to get that consultation for free. He's listed at stevekaneshow.com in case you missed the number, and his website, hormonetherapybocaраton.com. All right, third hour begins now.
1470 is WWN in Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
This is Roger Simon, reverse mortgage specialist at South Florida's Choice Mortgage Bank.
I keep forgetting to bring paper in.
Reverse mortgages can be a very valuable financial vehicle for seniors. I truly change their lives for the better. In fact, I have a reverse mortgage myself, and it's certainly improved my life. Everyone's situation, of course, is different, but I've found over and over that a reverse mortgage can solve many of a senior's financial problems. It's a valuable tool to allow you to age in place. And if you're a senior like me, that's a primary goal. By aging in place, I mean that you're financially able to stay in the home you love for the rest of your life. So if you own your home with or without a mortgage, and if you want to know how a reverse mortgage can change your life by giving
you gotta call Dr. Matez, but it's not that much.
Find out how by giving me a call anytime at 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. I look forward to hearing from you.
Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166254. People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't
What?
have insurance. My schedule is too hectic.
It's gotta be in there.
The
I don't have it. It's in one of the drawers in there.
Is over. Thanks to
It's gotta be. I don't have it.
Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel $28. Complete thyroid panel $49. Diabetic A1C test only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes micronutrient and environmental allergies, and vitamin deficiency test, drug testing, you name it. Any lab test now at Plantation, probably test for it. Any lab test now at Plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call, 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with any lab test now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
You got a couple sound
Steve
clips
Kane
too.
Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1.
All right, and a very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Steve Kane, and I've been entertained, as you have been, for the past, how long have you been on the air?
Today, 2 hours and 5 minutes.
2 hours and 5 minutes, but who's counting?
You missed the first call of the day. The first call of the day was.
Did you break one?
I'll tell you in a minute. It was an unbelievable event happened on this program. Unbelievable event happened on this program.
Anyway, I've been listening, and I'm very. This might sound condescending. I don't want you to take it that way, but I must say I'm really so proud of Brian. He is.
Oh yeah. How's that condescending?
What?
How's that condescending to me or to the
it's
listeners?
Condescending, well, in the context that I was, trying to compliment you.
Oh.
Yeah, everything that I have taught you, you have absorbed in spades, and what a great analysis you did this morning. And,
Oh, you mean on the whistleblower?
And you're right on the
blowing the whistle on something that's public?
Brian and I, this is not a well-known fact, but Brian and I are working on a book that will come out shortly after we retire, whenever that may be.
Yeah.
And one of the chapters in our book is called "Sometimes a Banana is Just a Banana." And you sit there and you watch what these Democrats are doing with this impeachment talk, and you say, how can they do, what are they doing? I can't believe that they're how can you impeach somebody that's when the thing has already been out and everybody.
How can you blow the whistle on something that's public? How do you blow the whistle on something that's public?
That everybody in the country knows. How do you blow the whistle?
Yeah, I don't understand.
And,
it just makes no sense.
That's where the sometimes a banana is just a banana.
But no one's picked up on this.
Well, don't say that. I mean, I picked up on it. Yesterday I was saying that to myself, but you rule out the obvious. What would you say? What are the possibilities that they would do something like that?
Like what? Blow the whistle on something that's public?
Something that's public, and not realize that what they were doing was an exercise in
propaganda. The odds, I think, are high because they're stupid
That's it.
and consumed with their anger.
It's the S word, stupid.
Yeah, they're stupid. They're a bunch of clowns. They're clowns.
And the other thing, for example, the polls, all the polls that indicate the majority of people want an impeachment and all that kind of stuff. They've spun that in a very clever way, the left has. well, what they're saying is, well, I'll do it with you. If somebody asked you, if somebody was taking a poll and they got you and they said, would you like to take this impeachment vote this afternoon and not go through all
sure.
this brief?
My
in other
answer?
words, are you for just doing it?
My answer is
Do
yes.
it, yes.
Yes.
My answer is yes. And
Yes.
that's the people that answer
I think
yes.
Trump's answer is yes on
They're
that
in
too.
favor of, they're in favor of
Impeaching and removing.
impeaching.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, impeach does not necessarily mean,
Yeah.
when you ask that question,
That is true.
get rid of them.
That's true.
They just say, I'm tired of this stuff.
I think Trump is saying that.
Yes,
Impeach me.
That's exactly right. And he draws exactly the perfect reference from it. They understand that if there was a vote, they would not win it, especially considering you need 2/3 of the Senate to get him out of office. But these people are just stupid.
Well, you know, Chuck Todd blew a gasket. Okay, so I got two clips here. I played one earlier, but I want to play it again for Steve because it involves Steve's favorite person, Brennan, disgraced CIA chief, and he. You remember Trump took his security clearance away. So the segment before Brennan comes on with this choreographed crap that I'm going to play for you, this rehearsed play of an interview. He has a senator on. I'm just going to play like the thing with the senator is only about 7 seconds. I'm going to play the whole exchange. He has a senator on, and the senator mentions the corruption of Brennan, you know, who had his security clearance taken away. And Brennan's the next guest. So I don't know where Brennan is at this point. He could be sitting at the table next to Chuck Todd off camera. He could be in the green room. I don't know, but he's certainly there because he's the guest of the next segment. So this senator, Republican senator, mentions Brennan and the spying and the FISA, and Chuck Todd blows a gasket. Listen to this.
Yeah. Okay, this is not about the media. Senator Johnson. Senator Johnson, please.
Please, you're talking about Mr. Brennan. How dare you?
By the way,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you pulled that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't ask for that. But this senator.
Yeah, Ron Johnson.
Johnson is a sharp. I'm used to most of them being cronies.
I've never really heard him too much before. He's
sharp
great.
as a whip. He could be one of our major spokespeople.
Oh, or a future candidate. And here you have just mentioning Brennan. Senator, you're talking about the Brennan. He just can't handle it. So then Brennan comes on in the next segment. And I played this early in the show, but I got to play it again. I mean, this is just... I can't stand Chuck Todd. Okay? And Chuck Todd, he asks these questions that he just thinks are so brilliant. No one's thought of it. And he's just going to change public opinion with his great questions. And he has these weird mannerisms and ways. You know, he's very proud of himself. So he talks in this cutesy little voice at the end. Now, this part, you know, you have to watch this online to see the video of this. He leans forward and then back to pat himself on the back that he's just asked the greatest of great questions. And the American people are going to change their opinions on everything because Chuck Todd asked the questions that no one else thinks of. And he asks Brennan, well, I'll just play it for you without explaining. It explains itself. This is Chuck Todd, and you'll hear the little cutesy tone he gets in his voice when he thinks he's asked this, like, the hottest question ever.
Would the CIA assess the stability of the American government?
That, you know, how...
They assess the stability of the American government right now?
See that right now? Oh, cutesy jerk.
Oh, well, if it were assessing America as if it was another country?
We would look at it as a very corrupt government that is under the sway right now of this powerful individual who has been able to just corrupt the institutions and the laws of that country.
What would you say about the stability of the democracy?
I think it's no longer, you know, a democracy if an autocrat has it in his hands, and people like Johnson and others are putty in his hands, which means that the democratic principles upon which this country are founded are eroding right now.
So the CIA would not assess America as a stable democracy?
I think it's given the polarization of the country as well. This
is crazy talk.
The political instability here, and which is consuming the government now, and it's not able to take care of the issues that it needs to address, whether it be on the domestic front or the national security or the foreign policy front. So yes, I think there's a real question about the stability.
No, boy, I mean, come on. I've never seen something so strange in my life on television. We're no longer a democracy. We're unstable because we have Donald Trump as president.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, what a bizarre question
The
and
person's
now
unearthing. He's doing just what he said he'd do.
draining the swamp.
Draining the swamp. It's all in that phrase. That's
Also,
what he said he was. That's what he told
oh,
people
yeah.
when he got elected, and that's what he's proceeded to do.
Yep.
And they, let me tell you,
Yep.
the people in the swamp don't like it. And then it's not. I'm sad to say it. It's not just people who are Democrats. It's Republicans as well. This is a good. I mean, none of this is new. We used to talk about it all the time. The government is. Is everybody's paid off in Washington. The very idea of coming up with the image of Washington as a swamp with slimy reptiles crawling and crawling. This is not new for the public, but never have we been fed such a concentrated
dose of it.
Day after day after day after day.
Well, I got this I want to run this by you because they're telling us that if you ask,
By the way, did you see anybody on our side ask that
you can watch the rerun on YouTube.
straight out about
how do you blow the whistle on something that's public? Nobody's talking about it. The only one who's doing this. How do you blow the whistle on something that's public? Now, what they're I mean, that's the main story of today. Their second whistleblower. This one has firsthand knowledge. All of America has firsthand knowledge because we've seen the transcript and saw the Ukrainian president say no pressure. Now I got this clip I got to play because this is I'm very confused here today. Okay, now what they're telling us is that if you ask a foreign government to investigate dirt on your political opponent, that you have committed a high crime, which is a felony, which would be treason or something else. So if you ask a foreign government to investigate your political opponent, you have committed a high crime. That's what they're telling us, right? Well, I unearthed this soundbite. We played this long ago, but I brought it from the archives. This is Hillary Clinton, and she is on Rachel Maddow's show on MSNBC. And listen to what Hillary Clinton asks.
Tonight, ask China. That's right. And not only that, China, if you're listening, why don't you get Trump's tax returns? I'm sure our media would richly reward you.
Okay, so well, that's Mrs. Clinton asking a foreign government to do oppositional research on her political opponent, Mr. Trump, and you'll be rewarded for it. That's a crime, according to Mr. Schiff. Okay. Are you going to defend Mrs. Clinton?
It's not a question of defending her. I don't hold this against you because liberals are known for their lack of sense of humor or ability to tell a joke. That line is a put-on. That is a knockoff of the line that when Trump said, looking for the tapes. And by the way, while you're out of China, ask her if she's found those missing tapes.
Okay.
It's a knockoff.
Okay,
of that.
I will buy that.
She doesn't do it very
okay,
well.
I will buy that if you can give me another example of Mrs. Clinton ever telling a joke.
No.
Does she have a long history of sarcasm like President Trump? I don't think so.
I think the reality. No, but that doesn't mean.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Hey, Hillary Clinton's got a lot of things. One of the things she doesn't got is a sense of humor.
She can't. First of all, she doesn't pull it off. She can't tell the truth. She couldn't even tell it was it.
She's not joking. She's not joking. She's asking the Chinese to investigate her political opponent. Now, let me tell you about the first call of the day. Let me tell you about the first call of the day. You love this. This is Richie the bus driver. Okay. So I come on the air, and I'm in the middle of doing this thing about how do you blow the whistle on something that's public to the world for 2 weeks. And first call, right? It's about 13 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. So I've been on the air less than 15 minutes. First call, what does Richie say? Richie says, listen, the answers to all of this is what you do. You go to Glenn Beck's The Blaze, and there's a 2-hour video that Glenn Beck put out that answers all of these questions. So I said, well, thanks a lot, Richie. So telling everybody to turn off the radio, go to Glenn Beck's 2-hour video, and get the answers to everything. Richie doesn't know what he's doing. Doesn't know what he's saying. So by the time they leave the show, watch this 2-hour long Glenn Beck.
Because you don't know what you're talking
No.
about.
But at least we've got Glenn Beck out
with his
there.
2-hour video, and by the time
If
you're
you really
finished,
want to figure it out, don't go to Brian because what does he know?
yeah, and then after those 2 hours, it'll be time. The show will basically be over. What I just said to you. I said, well, thanks a lot, Richie. Thanks a lot, Richie. Telling everybody to turn off the radio and go to Never Trump or Glenn Beck for his 2-hour video. By the way, what Glenn Beck had, you don't have to watch for 2 hours. You could just read the 2-sentence summary. But Richie means no harm. He's just, he's just a clumsy man with his speech. Sometimes he doesn't realize what he's saying.
I guess.
But I mean, golly, that's just what you want.
I'm sure he'll call in later.
Someone that was insecure with themselves on the air would have a total, breakdown on the. I remember once, I was.
Well, first of all, someone else would have bleeped it.
Oh, I don't need to bleep it. I don't need to bleep it. I remember. Yeah, I love. No one's a bigger fan of Craig Worthing than I am. Craig Worthing, one of the great talk show hosts of all time. Okay, but I saw he was always on at night. And he used to be on like 8 to midnight or something like that. And I heard him once get a call from a guy. It was during the basketball playoffs. And somebody called in and asked him about the basketball playoffs. And he went, because they're on in prime time, he went ballistic because he's on during, you don't ask someone who's on during primetime TV anything about television. And he freaked out. I mean, there was no need to do that. Yeah, I guess. No, they didn't do that in those days. But I really appreciate Richie telling people to turn off the radio for 2 hours, too. Not just during the break. There's this quick thing to watch for 30 seconds. Turn it off for 2 hours and then come back and you'll have all the answers, courtesy of Never Trump or Glenn Beck. Thanks a lot, Richie.
We don't want to overlook the emphasize the importance of what you talked about.
What? How do you blow the whistle on something that's public?
Well, yeah, I mean, the fact
Second
is,
whistleblower.
He went, these leaders, in many ways, are partners in a corporation. If you go to you want to take the break now? Let's take the break. Let me try to make a note. Remember where I was, and we'll return after this.
This is Steve Kane with an incredible special from our friends at Brighton Dental. 8 Emax veneers at Brighton Dental, just $49.99. All the other dentists in town charge $10,000 for the exact same veneers. 10 Emax veneers, $59.99 at Brighton Dental.
It drives Savage nuts?
These are the very same veneers that other dentists in town are charging $12,000 for. Get the Hollywood smile you have always dreamed of. Call Brighton Dental at 954-922-4633.
The Medicare open enrollment period is here. Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080, and allow her to educate and guide you through the many plans, choices, and cost considerations. I Will Advisors represents all major insurance companies, not just a single carrier, so they will make sure you choose the best option for you. Call Debbie.
2 hours of Glenn Beck will keep them away? Yeah, right.
753-8080. 954-753-8080.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a
I went through all my stuff.
25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to 1 pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand
Oh, okay. All right, I'll take
They're
them.
stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin.
What was that?
Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesouauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com.
Tell them Steve Kane sent you. For the best wings in this town, it's Wings Plus. Wings that are first grilled and then fried.
You didn't get rid of that phone last week? I told you to get rid of that
Served
phone.
with blue cheese and celery. Try the Jamaican jerk.
We're coming back.
The lemon pepper wings, the honey mustard wings, the garlic wings, and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral Springs with a politically elite meat.
All right, bye-bye.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
Doesn't everyone know you're on the air?
Just search for WWNN.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy.
All right, we're back.
Oh. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, so we're trying to figure this out. How do you blow the whistle on something that is public? Trying to figure that one out.
And there is no.
The media don't seem to. Yeah. If let me tell you, if the conservative pundits on the news today don't all ask that question, they're either lying, covering up part of it.
They'll make a refer to it. But another thing I enjoyed was your analysis of the race at its present state, with Bernie being, being a heart attack victim, and this Elizabeth Warren change that she's kind of taken on with a new lie every time. How do you know what Liz Warren is?
She was fired for being pregnant. Then she got another story. Exactly.
So you can see this thing shift. Bernie is not Bernie, but actually Bernie too. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
But
they're both done.
yeah, they're both done. Bernie is finished, and Biden is finished, and it's amazing. What's fun is watching him.
Oh no,
knowing what's going on.
You didn't see Biden over the weekend?
I saw him. No, I saw. Footage.
I tell you, he's got so much energy in him over the weekend. I feel like he went and saw Dr. Matez and got hormone replacement pellet therapy because he's like a new man. Now, I don't know how long he kept up the energy, but no, Biden's in the fight.
No, it's
No, listen.
He may,
what this guy's going to do. Have you ever seen, rhetorical question, a president ever so unhinged as this guy is? That's what worries me. Let the House focus on what they're focusing on in the Senate, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to beat him on the merit.
You're going to beat him on the merit. He's out there. He's fighting.
These are the,
he's fighting.
This is the new strategy that's going to work pretty much the same as the old strategy. He's finished.
Oh, Biden, yeah. He doesn't know it yet, but he's done.
He doesn't know it.
Hillary's taking them all. This new story.
That's what's bringing Hillary out.
Well, I think she's the one taking them out. The story with Hunter Biden and everything, I think that came from the Hillary camp. Number two, this new thing with Elizabeth Warren about how she lied about this job, getting fired, being pregnant. She had a different story. I think that's Hillary.
Well, what's happening is all of those people who don't want to see Biden win, and all those that are fans of other candidates are going to channel their negative stuff through.
What? Yeah. All the well, Hillary. Hillary has always been a dirty investigator, and in 2008 it was.
They go to her with the talking points.
Her people uncover the dirt because they know the Hillary campaign. In 2008, it was the Hillary campaign that found out about Jeremiah Wright. It was in 2008. It was the Hillary campaign who started asking about the birth certificate, and then she got them to shut up. She thought she'd lose the black vote. It cost her the nomination. So Hillary Clinton, I believe, is the one that got the Hunter Biden story out there, and I believe Hillary Clinton's campaign is behind this new Elizabeth Warren line.
To savor, fully savor, the prospects of what lies ahead. Hillary declared.
Oh yeah.
Now you have Hillary, a rematch. Hillary versus
Trump.
I'm half awake this week.
Yeah, she's going to have to go in the primary first.
Well, yeah, but it's going to be an unbelievable fight. Can you imagine her against Biden? It's going to be delicious. It's going to be incredible.
Here's a question, if somebody may know.
Can you imagine that?
Oh, yeah. In the modern era, has someone run for president 3 times, lost 2 times, and won on the 3rd? She's lost 3 times. And this time will be the 3rd. She's already lost twice.
And every time she runs, she is less likely to win because people are fed up with her.
Well, yeah. Well, what they're telling them, yeah. And what they tell themselves is, well, wait a minute. Nixon lost, and he came back and won. No, Nixon won in 1960. The Kennedys stole it from him. He never lost an election. He just didn't contest it in 1960. Hillary's a 2-time loser. And
The dogs would be 3 times.
yeah, so I remember when I studied American history in school, in the 1800s, there were always these guys that they would run for president 3, 4 times. They would never win. People don't like losers. And there are not very many people. If we went back and researched it, which I'm not going to do because there are not very many people that lost that came back to win.
William Jennings Bryan, I think, back from the famous monkey trial, he was a perennial candidate too for the presidency. He never won, but I think he ran about 4 times.
Yeah.
And what happens is you become a joke after. In fact,
you're a loser.
If you want to read something interesting, it's in play form, but Inherit the Wind. One of the great
Someone asked how many times did Reagan run? I believe twice, and he won both. He talked about running in 76, but he didn't. So yeah, you're right. So she's lost the presidency twice. She's a loser, and losers don't really come back.
And both Hillary and
who? Biden,
both
Warren.
Hillary and Biden are very parody. That's not the word I want. They're great figures of parody.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun, kind of watching them come apart piece by piece.
See, I don't think Bill Clinton wants Hillary to win. I never thought he wanted her to win because he.
What I read in the paper in the Enquirer, Bill Clinton is on his way out in the next 6 months.
Yeah, well, Bill Clinton likes to be the president in the family. He doesn't want another one. And if she were to become the president, he'd be the second banana because he was president so long ago. Bill Clinton probably vote for Trump. But Hillary Clinton, so far as I know, I can't think of someone who's lost twice and came back to be the president. Not in the modern times. I'm talking about modern era. I'm not going to go back to 1800s. I'm talking about in the, since there were telephones and electricity and stuff, you know what I mean? TV. It just doesn't happen that way.
Each time she runs, it gets less likely that she'll win. She becomes more of a tragic figure and kind of a joke.
Jimmy Kimmel is a liberal piece of garbage. He was interviewing Bob Iger, who's the president of Disney. And he asked him, he was interviewing Bob Iger, and he says, if President Trump is impeached, will he be removed from the Hall of Presidents at Walt Disney World? Bob Iger didn't answer the question, but a good answer to that is, well, we didn't remove Bill Clinton when he was impeached, did we? I don't know. Did we? If we did, maybe. I don't know. But, the left, Jimmy Kimmel asking this, the left think he's going to be impeached and removed from office. These sycophants that they have running around like Jimmy Kimmel, they don't understand how popular he is because in their circles, everyone hates him. Washington, New York, and L.A.
All right,
it's time for the bottom of the hour.
At the bottom of the hour, let's take our break. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. We'll return after this.
Seniors, is there too much month left at the end of your money? You have worked hard your whole life, and you shouldn't be struggling in your golden years. And you know what? You don't have to. Call Roger Simon at Choice Mortgage Bank and talk to Roger about how a reverse mortgage can change your life.
Good spot.
Roger has a reverse mortgage
This is
himself.
the new spot.
Understands your needs. Use the money for anything you want. Pay off your bills, including your mortgage if you have one. Stop working, take vacations, or anything else you wish. It's your money to do with what you want. And the best part is, you and your spouse can live in the home you love for the rest of your lives without worry, without financial struggle, or a mortgage payment. Call Roger Simon right now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561
Tom Selleck. Who's Tom Selleck? Oh, better than Tom Selleck's commercial?
561
Yeah.
441-2730. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166254.
Hello, my name is Todd Shallett, Florida licensed and bonded public adjuster in the state of Florida. I work for Amerilos Incorporated. I'm the founder, and I've been working since 1993 as your public adjuster. Amerilos Incorporated has helped thousands of homeowners get tens of millions of dollars more than what their insurance companies pay.
He didn't
We
answer
offer
it,
a second
Bob
opinion
Iger.
on your claim. If you suffered damage from Hurricane Matthew,
yeah.
it's not too late to get a second opinion and get the money that you deserve to get your house back in shape again. I'm sure you'll agree that you want to work with someone that has experience in this industry. I've been doing this since 1993, and our service is very valuable because if we don't get you any additional funds, there's no charge for what we do. Write this number down, 877-644-LOSS. That's 877-644-5677. If you had a loss, call Amerilos. One of our adjusters are standing by to make that valuable appointment with you. You deserve to get a second opinion. We work for you, not the insurance company. Call right now. 877-644-LOSS.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we're back. Just as an exercise, close your eyes. Not if you're driving. Don't do this if you're driving. You'll end up with catastrophic results. Just imagine the race between Pocahontas and Hillary when it gets down to that phase, because eventually it's going to boil down to two. Everything's going
Two women?
is the winnowing process. Well, you know, like Biden is, for a while,
Steve Kane
it was
show.
Biden versus Bernie. You know, now Biden is self-destructive. Bernie is evidently not quite up to the job physically.
Yeah.
So those will be the next two to drop out. And then, of course, if we are right and Hillary is going to make a move here, what would they argue about? What would they disagree on?
Hillary
What would the issue be?
and Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah.
Well, nothing. Old hags. Well, nothing. That's why Hillary is leaking out this this story about Warren today, that she lied about how this teaching job firing. She said she was fired because she was pregnant. That's Hillary Clinton's campaign.
But
They're trying to get her out of the race so it doesn't get to that point.
She'll do that anyway. But I mean, that's a personal attack. That story amounts to a personal.
Yeah, she's trying to get her out of the race so she can go up against Buttigieg or someone.
Her weakness, Pocahontas' weakness, is that she's a liar.
Oh, yes.
She's a liar.
Yes.
So that'll be.
She's committed fraud.
Hillary will come up with a lot of examples.
Yes.
From her history, which this is just one. This thing she released about
being pregnant.
Being pregnant and all that. And she's going to question her integrity. And what will Pocahontas go after Hillary for?
I think Hillary will have Pocahontas out of the race before she jumps into it.
Well,
that's what she's moving towards.
It's a convenient way of not having her.
If they were both in it, if they were both in it till the end, Hillary would try to get.
Well, if that was the final two, I mean,
Yeah,
going to be two.
she would try to make a deal with Pocahontas for her to be the VP. You'd be the first Indian VP.
A female president and vice president.
Yeah, well, one of them's an Indian, fake Indian.
Not enough of a difference in profile.
Yeah, you want to take a call or two?
That's frightening. Yes.
Yeah, Mike, you're on the air.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how you guys doing today? I just wanted to tell you, the communist anti-American Democrats, they're not going to know what hit them on election day 220. I'm telling you, Trump's second term.
Well, Mike, maybe you could answer the question because you're in New York, and everybody in New York is smarter than the rest of the country. Just ask CNN and NBC News. Well, that's what the media say. You know, if you're in New York, you're smart. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe with a New York mind, you can explain this to me. Here's my question: how do you blow the whistle on something that is public knowledge? Because the second whistleblower has firsthand knowledge of the phone call that we've all seen. So how do you blow the whistle on something that's public?
Well, that's a great question. Now, on Howard Kurtz explained it that ABC, they're reporting. I guess there's a fourth whistleblower. I'm not sure if you're...
So now they got 3 more people that are blowing the whistle on something that's public knowledge.
Mike, you could be a whistleblower too.
Yeah, we all have knowledge of it.
Listen to this. He has psychic abilities and he has first-hand knowledge of a call Trump made to Putin in November 15, 2019. But did you see that?
Is this Mike or Al the John? Because you're starting to sound like Al the John, Mike.
Did you see the Howard Kurtz interview with Giuliani?
No.
I
They pulled Giuliani's microphone. He sounded like you, Brian, yesterday.
What did they do? They pulled his microphone. They turned his mic off?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I missed that. They turned off his microphone?
Well, let's put it this way. What they would tell you is they had technical problems.
Oh, yes, technical problems.
And, I don't think...
oh, my.
Who was the host on that?
Kurtz? Howie Kurtz?
I don't think Kurtz...
That's Howard Kurtz.
Yeah, I don't think Kurtz was in on that because he was very upset and because he knew what everybody was thinking and everybody was thinking that he
cut his mic.
The mic. So he was like upset about it.
Well, what was Giuliani talking about that they cut his mic?
They're going over Giuliani's story.
Oh, please. Is that? I mean, that's insanity.
And, you know, the real story of what really happened.
So someone in the control room did it.
And it's real. Yeah, somebody off stage.
Now, what do you think? You think that was a low-level person or someone a little higher up?
That's an interesting.
In closing, Brian, what happened before Kurtz, he has on all the liberals, so they speak for 5 minutes straight. He doesn't say a word. So Giuliani said, how come every time I come on Fox News, if it's not Hannity, after 30 seconds, you cut me right off? And then he said, and how come you, personally, shame on you, Mr. Kurtz, because you haven't mentioned Joe Biden's son in the last 2.
Oh.
Shame on you. And as soon as he said that, boom.
Oh, technical problems?
He was so obvious, Kurtz.
Really? I missed that. I'll look for that. We're almost out of time. I'll see if I can find that. I don't know how I missed that. I'm usually on top of such things. I'll look for it. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That it?
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
I did see that, and
I missed it.
Kurtz was although I hate Kurtz, he's really heavy-duty anti-Trump.
Yeah.
But not open about it very frequently. So
I found a story here. It says here, Rudy Giuliani insults Fox News' Howard Kurtz during an interview. I'm not finding the part where they had the technical problems. Let me see. This is part of the interview.
His son was a partner with the Chinese government making millions. Since it was a private company, we don't know how much the Chinese government was paying him.
Well, just to briefly, Hunter Biden says that his spokesman says he didn't make any money from this. He was an investor in this firm that, yes, had Chinese partners. All right, you find that amusing?
But no, I find it amusing. Nobody investigated it. So Donald Trump says I didn't do anything wrong. But you're investigating it, Howie. Donald Trump says I didn't do anything wrong, but you're investigating it. This kid.
And I got to say, this is the interview. I have not seen this before, but Howard Kurtz's face, he looks like he has air sickness. I mean, he's like, this is going out over our air. Who booked this? He's upset.
Who's been taking down millions for years and has a drug problem and failed out of the Navy because he has a drug problem and got in the Navy at 43 years old. Joe didn't pull strings corruptly to do that?
Well, the question is whether it can be proven, which is the question you'd be asking if you were still a prosecutor.
The question is, will somebody investigate it?
Okay.
Could you just listen for 1 second? Here's the difference. We got an anonymous whistleblower who says that Donald Trump did something wrong. Donald Trump, like Hunter Biden, says, I didn't do anything wrong.
Forget the whistleblower. We have the transcript of the call and the president's remarks underlined.
Wait, before you interrupt me, Howard, I know you want to defend it so bad.
I don't want to defend anything. I'm asking questions.
You do.
I am asking
it's pathetic.
questions.
It's pathetic. Listen to me. Just listen to me 1 second. Hunter Biden says, I didn't do anything wrong. Stop. No investigation. Nothing. This all should have stopped when President Trump said, I didn't do anything wrong. You never should have even gotten the transcript if we're just going to believe him. Joe Biden says, I never talked to my family about family business. However, the family business is in the newspapers. The New York Times in December of 2015 writes an article about how corrupt and how conflicted the relationship is with the kid. They say, how could the most corrupt oligarch in Ukraine be paying the vice president's son when the vice president has been tasked by Obama to give out money in the Ukraine? So when Joe Biden says, I didn't know about my son's entanglement in Ukraine, we have to believe he didn't read the New York Times.
Okay, now the clip I have cuts off there. It doesn't play the rest.
Wait a minute, just to say
That's where it ended.
You know why that's a nightmare, that clip for Howard Kurtz? Because he's going to have to account now to all his friends in the biz and everybody he knows as to why he let Giuliani get away with so much and look so good.
You're supposed to be covering for Hunter Biden.
That's why Howard Kurtz is green during this interview.
Well, and I'll tell you another thing about Kurtz. His show, the premise of the Howard Kurtz show is to expose the media for the week. How did the media handle things? Did they spin it? Are they biased?
Well, unfortunately, the premise of the show got reversed.
I'm not seeing where they had the technical problems, but I'll find it later. I just can't do it live on the air. But the look on his face, I mean, he's green there, Howard Kurtz, that all this about Hunter Biden, he's supposed to be covering for the Bidens, and he's upset. Yeah, he looks like he's in trouble. He looks like he's going to. Well, he knows it. He looks like the phone's going to be ringing after the show.
He knows that at the very least his friends are going to never speak.
So what does that tell you about Fox? Because I'm always telling you how bad Fox has gotten. What does that tell you about the Fox?
What is what?
Well, this is Fox News where this happened, where they had this technical problem. They cut Rudy's mic off. Kurtz is in trouble.
That ran down from the executive suite to throw a switch? No.
So why is Kurtz so upset that this is going out over there?
He looks like an idiot, and he knows that Giuliani's scoring all the points, and he's losing, and he's not paid to lose; he's paid to win. Anyway, you want to take a break? Okay, let's take a break. If you would like to join us, we'll probably do phones for the remainder of the show. 1-888-GO-CANE, followed by the number 1. 1-888-GO-CANE, K-A-N-E, followed by the number 1. We'll be back with your calls right after this.
Hear that? That's the clock ticking till the Steve Kane cruise sets sail on November 8th for 6 days of fun in the sun. There's still time to join us. First stop, Cayman Islands, then Costa Maya, where we visit the Mayan ruins together, then Cozumel, with the most beautiful beaches anywhere. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, on the Steve Kane Cruise. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
In a minute, I'm going to call him in a second.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models.
Okay, Youngerman's on the line.
Ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when you and use. 50% less. Upfront 2019 RAV4, not 19,775. Upfront 2019.
Just with Biden, and how come they make money wherever Biden is put in charge? So Obama puts him in charge of Ukraine. They make 5 years.
I got a hard question.
China, 1.5 million.
More with the former here in just a moment.
It's very hard to.
Toyotas in the Southeast region from 2014 to 2018 per SET on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
It doesn't happen because of the polls. The polls are the way they are because everybody is saying, let's vote on it and let's get this over with.
Call Debbie and I will advise us.
I think most people know he's not going to get removed.
753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have her review your Medicare plan. 954-753-8080. Listen to
Okay. All right, Youngerman's on the line.
What?
Youngerman.
Oh, All right, now the moment we have all waited for, the Gold Report, brought to you each day on the Steve Kane Show at this time, sponsored by William Youngerman. William Youngerman, one of the leading experts on the precious metals, really in the world. He has been advising clients on trends and on movements in the precious metals markets for over 50 years. And if you've had the good fortune to follow his, or the wisdom to have followed his advice all these years, you know what I know. He is a man who knows what he's talking about. William, how's it looking today?
Good, Steve. How you doing?
Very well.
Good. Well, the precious metals are still locked in the trading range for the most part, along with a lot of the other markets, including the stock market, the bond market, and so what we're seeing is these markets trading back and forth until we find some kind of news or something that will push them out of these ranges. Gold's been in a trading range of 14.85 to about 15.10, and that we saw close out Friday. Gold closed out at $1,504 the ounce. Silver closed out the week at 17.51 within its 50-cent trading range. Platinum closed out at 8.80. And palladium closed out last week at 16.47. Overnight, we saw gold get up to about $1,510 again, then backing off to $1,498 as it is right now. That's down $6 from Friday's close. Silver's down 4 cents at $17.47.
Good Sunday morning. I made the point earlier this week that a national
$883 and palladium is down $3 at 16.44. So kind of a quiet opening so far this morning.
It's a moment that so many people.
As the day develops.
I'm kind of curious when you use the phrase "we're looking for some kind of news" in reference to trying to get out of this range where we've been stuck in for a while. Would that news be more likely to be good news or bad news that would affect us, in a positive way?
Well, it's usually some kind of news that's troubling to the markets, and so that would be most likely bad news. Bad news could come in the form of higher inflation numbers, lower interest rates, which makes gold cheap, very inexpensive to hold, which we're seeing. The trading range on the bonds right now is putting interest rates at 10-year bonds around 203, around 153, and 30-year bonds at around 203%. So, these are historically extremely low levels, and if we break below the trading range on those numbers, we'll see gold take off. The other thing is the big key for gold will be the dollar, U.S. dollar going lower. It has been in a very high trading range, which is very difficult for our economy because it makes all of our goods that we export more expensive to the rest of the world. That puts a deficit on our trading and is bad for our companies in this country. So the urge to try to push the U.S. dollar lower has got to develop with some more strength, and that usually comes about by lowering interest rates some more. So we see even Trump wanting to see interest rates in par with more like the European interest rates, which are basically negative, which would make money very cheap. That would help inflation and push the U.S. dollar much lower, and that lower U.S. dollar will make gold cheaper for the rest of the world to buy. Right now, the rest of the world, with the high U.S. dollar and gold being dollar denominated, is basically paying a world record price for gold in some of these countries. So that all those events could and most likely will be the events that will push gold much, much higher.
All right, well, now we know what to look for. So, William, tell them a little bit about what goes on over at William Youngerman, Inc., in terms of not only selling gold, which of course you've done for this long time here, but also setting a market in buying precious metals as well.
Right. For over 50 years, we've made two-way markets in all of the rare coin and precious metals markets, whether it's in coin bullion form or in scrap jewelry, things that you're not wearing anymore, watches. Make a market in all of that, and as a applied precious metals accredited dealer, one of the few in the world, we stand behind everything we sell. We guarantee to buy it back at whatever the current market is, and that gives our customers a long-term advantage with us, that they know that We're not just selling it to them, but we're standing right here ready to buy anything back also.
All right, William Youngerman, located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's the Bank America building. You'll find William on the first floor, directly across the hallway from the bank. You can reach him by phone toll-free at 1-800-327-5010. Or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com. William, a pleasure. We'll speak tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You take care, and we are back.
Oh boy, I mean, these Democrats are in a complete another
it looks
world.
That way to me, I don't see them winning this. I just don't see how it's going to work out. I mean, they can get the impeachment, the trial. I think they can do that. I think they can get out of the House with it.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, when this is what's going on. You got a handful of lunatics that are in senior positions now, like this Schiff character, and you've got Schiff is as loony as AOC. I don't think they have the House votes. They don't have the House votes. They would have done it. They have a handful of liberal loons. Schiff is a senior guy, but he's as nutty as AOC. That's trying to get something through. You've got this that Jabba the Hutt slob there from New York, Nadler. Yeah. When's the last time you heard Nadler?
Well, they fired him. He's not head of the committee. We lost his committee.
So Nadler, I don't think it's popular even among Democrats in the House to impeach Trump. I was telling you this on Friday. On television, you see the same 12 people from Congress on TV all the time. 12 out of how many? Out of 535. I don't think it's popular. They're afraid. I mean, look at that woman getting booed by her own constituents in Michigan.
That's great. I hope they get that nationally. I doubt it.
It should. So no, they don't have the votes. It's not popular because he's done nothing wrong, and they've gone after him. This is what, the third, fourth, fifth time they keep going. Okay, this didn't work, so we're going to try that.
I know he's done nothing wrong, but a lot of them, they don't care whether he's done anything wrong. He's a rival.
Yeah.
He's the enemy. They want him out. He's getting in the way of what they want, which is power.
Yeah.
And they know they can't get rid of him by traditional electoral methods. And that's what this is about.
And their fraud machine can't even get him a loss. Their fraud machine's not powerful enough to bring them to victory. They're too panicked. If they thought their fraud machine would help them out, they wouldn't be so desperate. And for this new whistleblower to be from the intelligence community too, that's a bad move.
What was going through their mind? I mean,
It's Trump versus the intelligence community.
Yes, and you know something? And this is the real subtle part of it that most people don't realize. This is a rerun of the Russian scam. It's the same thing, same players, Brennan, who's the other guy's name? Brennan and
Clapper
and all these guys. The same agencies working behind the scenes trying to destroy Trump. They didn't get him the first time. They determined to do it the
that's
second
right.
time. It's or as Daffy Duck would say, despicable. We'll be back tomorrow. Be sure to be here. I'm Steve. You know Brian, and until tomorrow, God bless America.
Are you 30 years of age or older? If you are, you have low T. That's low testosterone.
All right, guys, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed on YouTube, all right, guys? We'll see you later. You guys subscribed? If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Well, thank you, Rob. Thank you. I can't get Facebook to shut off. This phone gets so hot. The phones get hot when you're live streaming. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Subscribe if you're not.